Other than just being bad at our jobs, not really. I think it's pretty good. I think if we even try hard, we might be able to try to lure out the capital ship if we make him mad enough. I don't know how we make him mad, but we probably could get the orcs to be mad enough to try to meet us.
Oh, and Sinesians on Zennith.
Okay.
Oh, right. There's definitely something odd going on with the warp here.
Seems to be a pattern. Like, what kind of
Namely,
odd? Yeah.
uh, well, you've conferred with the ship's astropads and checked your own navigation equipment. A number of servants and engine seers have gone over the warp engines in the Geller field, doing all manner of tests just to confirm you're not able to. Well, so far the astropads have not been able to send or receive anything out of the system, and you are not confident that the ship is capable of jumping at the moment.
Well, hell.
Something is inhibiting warp access in the system.
Well, no hell. So we're stuck.
Are we trying to get away?
Well, even if we weren't. Well, if we were, we couldn't.
Well, no, I just asked why. How did we figure it out? Did we try to run, or I just came back?
Just a thing that the various psychic folks aboard the ship have come to the conclusion of.
Okay.
Something is inhibiting warp transmissions and travel.
The Magus did not mention this as a feature of the system.
He did not.
I'm going to ask him about it. It would seem that way.
Yeah, it's probably new because they sent transmissions before, right? And astropath is the only good means of communication.
And how would
Yes.
everyone be able to
Right,
get
and
back
at some point the transmissions cut off.
They did indeed.
New favorite belief for the Orcs bombardment target? They're firing, trying to hit whatever is causing that.
So they can leave. I won't put it past them.
So I would like to put it to the Magus. Is it possible that this is some sort of defensive system of the vault?
It is possible that the Lost City would be capable of generating something of this sort. I note possibility only due to the impossibility of what is contained within, presenting an infinity of options.
It would not be the first time that we have encountered technology that has been able to reshape the warp and its connection to our universe.
There's slightly shudders at that.
Have you detected any other manner of strange warp activity? Beyond our apparent inability to access it outside of this system.
None that I have currently been made aware of.
What other tests can I make for that?
Yeah, I'd certainly like my people to be actively looking for other strange things here. Since they hardly ever come by themselves.
Have you attempted to establish astropathic communication with Six? cannot get transmissions out of the system, are we capable of inter-system communications?
That is a very good question. We should have an astropath look into that immediately.
Alright, and so you put out feelers attempting to see if anyone's reporting anything else strange?
Indeed.
Alright. Various department heads. So all of you, I suppose, make a social check representative of your attempts to dredge information on weird shit going on out of your people.
Oh shit.
Can I have my plus 10 for mutants?
Your people are the mutants, so yes. You can pick the social skill. The social skill is just representative of how exactly you're trying to glean information from your people. Command, charm, deception, intimidation.
Commerce.
I don't know any of that shit.
That's a lot of degrees of success for Hodor.
Can I use the social check?
Hodor will
of having the
punch until
boss?
you tell about strangeness.
Can I use the social check of having my servants do it for me? They probably have better social.
Do degrees matter?
They can potentially.
Okay. It's success for Romeo because of the Melodium.
Oh yes, Melodium. If
Right.
anyone didn't incorporate the Melodium,
I didn't
Romeo.
incorporate any bonuses.
Oh, what's Melodium? What does it do?
I don't think it would apply to an intimidation check.
It plays music to make everyone feel good.
Oh, I just pay death metal then. You know.
If that's not included the Melodium bonus, and also you might have a thing that gives you command if that's what you're using. I know that there's like various command plus stuff like pistols and armor and swords and stuff.
Yeah. What social skill is this for Thaddeus?
Inquiry.
Oh, yes, inquiry.
That's right, I have another like 15 charm stuff I can wear.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
my fellowship's not very good.
Why
How
did
much
you
was
do
the
that?
bonus for the Melodium?
What was that, Captain?
How much is the bonus for the Melodium again?
10, I believe. And
Alright, so it's actually just under 6 degrees, 5.9 that I made.
So, Denev, it is not a pleasant experience trying to speak with the other Brabazons aboard to see if they've noticed anything out of the ordinary. You definitely never would have communicated that to each other before now.
Nope. Yeah, she's not even looking at them. She's like turning around and asking questions toward the wall or towards whatever. No, she's basically having servants go back and forth.
I'm assuming it's Vox transmissions from halfway across the ship.
I do. I assume it would be to a servant to tell them. She doesn't even want to talk to
Little silver platters with little
Yes.
cards on them.
that.
Okay,
So
so
it took longer.
going in order, how many degrees of success did Romeo get, if any?
One for sure, maybe two.
Okay, well, how was Romeo attempting to glean this information?
Oh man. I'm gonna say command because I'm pretty sure it's two with command, but I'm gonna look up to see what thing. I know Romeo has a pistol that gives him a bonus to command stuff. I just gotta look up how much bonus.
Okay, and Gaius. Did we get a Gaius?
What about a guy?
Everyone pull. basically questioning their department, seeing if
So
anyone has anything strange to report.
charm them or do something with social to get them to tell you stuff.
Okay.
Charm,
Yeah.
command, or whatever social skill for your strategy of information gleaning from your people.
All right.
And by the way, damn you, Robin.
Hello?
I'm just staring, mesmerized at this gift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh. Which I probably failed my check. Because of the ill-omened or the
Yay.
ill-starred.
Oh, that it was a rule that doesn't work on our own peeps. Your own peeps are used to your weirdness. I wasn't factoring that into this check.
Okay.
But Romeo has 1.5 degrees of success on a command check.
Okay. So, yeah, so we're starting with Denev and Gaius here. Basically going down up the degrees of success ladder. So, yeah, Denev. The other navigators certainly say that they have detected more warp oddities, as more oddities in the flow of the warp after you've emerged. And even during the journey, something was out of place. A certain flavor of the warp had changed midway through your journey.
Is there any, like, datapad stats they could send over?
No, they don't have anything useful.
Of course not.
Gaius, your people are more or less the infirmary folks who you are more than familiar with. Various mid and high-ranking officers across the ship, and their associates. They've definitely been fielding some concerns of strange whispers in the night for quite a while now. Frankly, ever since Martellus, there's been oddities reported among the crew. Restlessness, voices, footsteps, that sort of thing.
Lovely.
And it has certainly gotten worse recently, ever since you arrived here. Though it's hard to cut through the chaff, you have to emerge from warp transit, and things are never simple in warp transit. But there's definitely been a lot of tales from the tales filtering up through the ranks. This or that ghost's haunting there, so-and-so is possessed by a demon. None of them ever... they're all investigated by the appropriate parties, and nothing ever comes of any of it. But the ratings are certainly alight with all sorts of Voidsman tales these days. More than usual. Thaddeus, unfortunately, is not able to dredge up anything from the men that he goes about questioning. Sadly, actual subtle investigations do not turn up anything in this case, as opposed to the social interaction and inquiry. Oh my god, no, but it should. Collective crew sanity rating. Oh my god, I'm gonna look into that. If there aren't rules for that somewhere, I'm gonna make them.
That would really suck, though, if just suddenly all of our crew became too insane to do anything, and then we just automatically died because we're the only people running the ship.
Well,
Well, no,
presumably
we could always frisk gang mutants.
The mutants would count among the sanity score.
They're
Yeah,
probably
we'd have
messing
to have
up the sanity
vacations
score.
and things.
Yeah, so Romeo,
Yeah.
this was command that you were working with?
Yep.
So you're coming to them as a superior officer.
Yep.
Okay, some of the men are a bit more tight-lipped in this setting, wanting about things like ghost stories, typical Voidsman tales and the like. But they definitely have been speaking of a number of uncertainties and oddities. They attribute them to all sorts of things, lingering corruption from your time on Martellus, the growing population of mutants amongst the regular working crew, uncertainty that those mutants may somehow be corrupted or tainted, hidden psychic abilities, harboring chaos, that sort of thing. Yes?
No, keep going.
And much like the others, there has been some distinctive talk of bad dreams, strange things glimpsed out of the corner of the eye, feeling like someone's watching them. It's been present for a while, but it got distinctly worse shortly before you arrived here in 6. Notably, shortly before you arrived. And then the captain and Hodor. So, Captain, you are able to, through charm and nice diplomacy and good reputation with the lowly ratings of the ship and your various officers and the tech priests, able to sort out some further details of what's been going on. Obviously, you hear all the stuff that the others had heard as well. All of the various psychers aboard the ship are definitely having the usual issues that you determined. But things definitely have been getting weirder ever since about midway through your warp travel, and have continued ever since you arrived here. There's some whispers, some concerns that maybe something slipped through the Geller field, something got aboard.
This is from the captain, not Hodor's people.
Yes, this is from the people that the captain speaks to. No one's exactly sure, but there's definitely something distinctly different here, and it's not like it felt like at Martellus. It's not a cloying dread that pervades the entire system as far as people who haven't left the ship can determine. See, it feels more small, more personal. And the stories that you had originally heard shortly after leaving Martellus have apparently only gotten more numerous. People occasionally seeing flashes. The few further times when you've performed boarding actions, when the enemy has boarded your ship, you've boarded theirs. There's been more and more reports of enemies who make it to the lower sections of the decks, not quite to the mutant areas, although perhaps close to the underdecks as well, just suddenly dying for no apparent cause. None of your men ever are affected, but people who are boarding the ship. At first, these were just idle curiosities. Tall tales, someone obviously was seeing something or mistaken, didn't catch gunfire down a hallway, thought someone just fell over dead. But it's become more confirmed now. Enemies that board the ship have been dying, with no apparent cause.
No apparent
ship's
cause, but
alive.
one apparent. Well, there was one apparent commonality. Yes, you said it got more common or that it started happening as they got close to the underdecks.
It's only been happening around that area so far, and near to the engine room as well. Reports have been less there, but it's especially in the least trafficked and least defended areas of the ship. And I shouldn't say that there's no apparent cause. It's the same cause for all of them. They appear to have been stabbed to death. But no one ever saw an attacker.
So people are coming down with a sudden case of unexpected stabbing.
Yes. And only enemies that have boarded the vessel during combat.
How many enemies have we had board the vessel during combat since Martellus?
How many times have you guys done hit and run action since Martellus? I mean, not a lot, but a few.
I'm trying to remember.
At least one that I can remember.
Where was that? I'm trying to remember that.
I know at the very least you invaded the governor's ship.
But I didn't know we brought people onto ours. Or,
It-
I mean...
Like an exchange of fire.
Except dudes.
I didn't know that was an exchange of fire with our ship in particular. I thought it was just like the other ships.
They have to make actual rolls for it, unlike you, who can just teleport directly on board the enemy fucking ship.
But if that's the only time, then are we thinking somebody from one of the people that were on the governor's mansion got over somehow?
And started
What
acting
was-
as a defender?
There were limited reports of this already while you were still in the Martellus system.
Huh.
What was the last warp event before we got through?
I do not have them written down.
Okay, that's cool then. I thought it might have been it said they got bad right before we got in, so I thought it might be connected to that.
Shortly before. And the more sinister feeling coming over the ship has been getting more and more since midway through your warp journey, which would be about a week ago. For about a week now, things have been getting progressively worse. And Hodor. Your people very definitively are coming to you with claims of something stalking and murdering them in the underdecks. Although they too are giving you the reports of the strange flashing ghost figures.
Hodor's like understandably super angry about people going through the underdecks and murdering his people. So,
The murders have only recently started.
so
Well,
okay. So
yeah,
how recently?
within your last week of warp travel. The
Okay, so within the last week of warp travel, he's been conducting search parties to try to find this murderer.
He hasn't heard about it until now. Doing
Oh,
his inquiry.
Okay. All right. So he immediately decides to. He radios his people in the underdeck, his subordinates. He goes, well, "Bring me best fighters. We are going to catch this underdeck killer." And yeah, so he radios for the best mutants to be brought to him.
All right. And also, they do also provide those same reports. Yes, things have been getting disturbing, been getting much worse. It's about a week into your warp travel, but more than that, they are also reporting the same thing of unseen figures murdering enemies aboard the ship. They actually saw far more of it. You personally have seen some of this, actually. During the battle that originally rose to you becoming Twist King, after the previous Twist Catcher was deposed when he was murdered by the ghosts of Martellus. There was something unseen in the underdecks fighting the ghosts, and you've occasionally seen, when things have been aboard that needed murdering, that sometimes things do just die or turn up dead, stabbed to death.
But this thing has also been stalking my people as well.
You're not certain what's stalking your people. The bodies found are certainly not cleanly stabbed, like the enemy victims that you've seen and have been reported.
How are the bodies found?
Ripped apart, burned, partially eaten.
Partially eaten. Can we get anything about the dentition of whatever it is?
Do we have a stowaway of one of those, like, cannibal creatures from Marcellus?
Assuming that Hodor is willing to release some of the murdered bodies to the ship's biologists.
Yeah, on the condition that they would be returned after they've been examined. Hodor will release bodies. Hodor wishes to have them back, though, for burial.
The biologists at first are not particularly able to discern anything. They are requesting both Hodor and Gaius's assistance.
Oh man. Okay,
Oh.
let's go.
What do I, if they're requesting, well, what do I have knowledge of? Forbidden Lore Mutant.
Yes, you are the only two mutant experts aboard the ship.
Alright, I'm gonna fate that. No. No. Nothing for me.
Yeah, they're having a distinctly difficult time figuring out what's normal and what's not in this body.
Forbidden lore is a intelligence stat, right? Or
Yes.
okay,
And
because I didn't add it because I didn't think I was gonna need it.
Didn't think you were gonna need it. Oh my god.
and being a seneschal, I think you can also just fate to auto succeed if you
I
want
mean,
to.
you can try it, and if you don't succeed, then just use the fate to auto.
Yep.
Yeah, auto.
Yeah, I'm just gonna auto then.
Okay, so at this point, Gaius has become quite familiar with all of the Magus Biologists and the various doctors and medics in the infirmary. The number of times he's been there, and the large amount of the ship's research department that's been dedicated to his hair preservation.
I am the hair club.
I'm not just a president, I'm also a member.
So you are able to help the biologist piece out, yes, that's just mutated, that wasn't torn apart. No, that's not mutated, that is definitely something that was ripped apart. That's the basic assistance they required because they're not familiar with abnormal human anatomy. Which I am uncertain if we have ever determined the reason why Gaius is, but that's beside the point.
Hey, we're not judging him.
I have a dark past I don't like to talk about.
I'm not judging what you have or haven't done with mutants. Okay, I'm totally judging you, but only behind your back.
No kink shaming allowed on the ship.
Yes, so the doctors are able to determine that whatever killed the man was, well, the various victims, was definitely human in size. Appeared to rip them apart with relatively human-like teeth. Not no significant needle or knife-like sharpness to them, just blunt tearing. Though it does appear to have some kind of shredding claws or some kind of implement. And burns are pervasive all through the body, anywhere wounds have been inflicted.
Are we talking like generalized first degree burns, like you might see with large but low intensity fire, or more the sort of things that you might see from a focused blowtorch?
Mostly the latter. You've got pretty much every degree you can imagine on some given part of the victims.
Any relationship to the bites?
Can guns make like burn marks like that? Or is that something else?
Well, the burn marks seem to be associated with the physical acts themselves. Burn marks left in the trails of claw and bite marks. Partial. Not enough to identify anyone as far as the tech priests can determine, but partial burned handprints.
Kind of sounds like a demon to me.
There's one possessed by one.
It seems likely. How do you go about hunting a demon in the lower decks of the ship?
Well, I mean, I can try and track one down.
Oh fuck, is this from that one time I messed up on the stupid warp check? Damn it. I had to deal with that stupid rabbit. Or squirrel or something. It was a squirrel.
It was a squirrel.
That's that goddamn squirrel.
Yep, you face down a squirrel. Squirrel 1.
It's totally that squirrel.
Watch it just be a giant carnivorous, invisible squirrel on fire. That's what's stalking the underdecks.
I'm sure it doesn't actually look like a squirrel, but in Denev's visions it looks like a squirrel.
Yeah, at least as much as Frank the Rabbit looks like a rabbit, probably.
But certainly while the murders, as far as you know, have been restricted to the underdeck, the timing of when the murders have begun certainly has synced up with people, with the increasing reports of strangeness everywhere on the ship.
Were you able to tell the timing, whether it was anywhere near, if Denev remembers, when, during that warp jump? I think she'd kind of remember that stupid rabbit, because she had such a grudge against that thing. Or the squirrel.
This would have been only about a week ago from now, so your most recent month-long warp jump.
Okay. Okay, so the negative stuff towards us has just been during this past warp, but the negative stuff towards outsiders
Has been going on since Martellus.
okay. And that's just the stabby.
Yes. That's been going on since, like, you fought the Eldar. Not that specifically, but, like, that far back.
Huh. Okay. Man, I don't remember us having too much trouble with warp stuff this last time around, so what the heck happened?
Well, you definitely made it through the warp pretty damn good as far as you know.
Can I try to track anything in the under decks?
You can give it a shot. What is the usual skill you use for that? Or is there a tracking skill just?
There's literally a tracking skill.
Okay, I'm gonna say if Hodor is assisting, you can get a plus 20.
I'm assisting, yes. I know the underdecks, so obviously I'm assisting.
And hunting down aberrations in the underdeck is kind of your exact job description.
Yep.
That's a very rough fate. Yeah, that's assisting.
Yeah, the other
Like
possibility.
5 degrees. Like 4 and a bit, actually.
Let's see if we could maybe get a bunch of Sinisians users to triangulate on the worst feeling in the underdeck.
I can probably help with Sinisia and stuff.
I mean, assuming that's even like a thing you can do. Look for the ickiest direction and mark it on this map.
Not
Demons have their
particularly.
own little things.
It's more warp activity that you're able to discern. Sort of. In this case, you're dealing with too rich of an area. There is too much weird shit going on in the underdeck on an average Tuesday for you to get something as specific as that.
Oh, it's worth a try.
This is not just a place where mutants happen to go. This is a place where if you're down here for too long, you become a mutant because that's what this place does to you. These are the horrible, pollutant, smog-filled warp runoff decks. And it is the most socially acceptable ones that Hodor dredges up for the replacement crew members. There is some feral shit down there. Yeah, so, tracking through the underdecks, doing your best to follow the path of the murders that have been taking place over the past week. Well, more than a week after your counting your journey into the dust cloud from the edge of the system. You do not manage to locate any kind of demonic entity, but you do track down what seems to be a latest victim.
How fresh?
It still appears to be alive, sort of.
Alright.
Yeah, it's fresh.
You're not exactly sure how to define its state of life at the moment. It is a bit beyond torn apart.
Oh.
The chamber that you find it in is filthy and corroding away, dripping with all manner of substances even before this happened. But with your prey sense and with torches cutting the light, cutting through the darkness, you are able to see that it looks like this creature has just been pulled apart and stapled and plastered to the walls, but still kept alive. Organs dangling but still connected.
That's rough.
Large segments of the wall just kind of plastered with a twitching muscle and skin.
Maybe some heretics, perhaps? I don't know.
Hodor will find who did this. Hodor will make them pay.
Well, is this person's, like, can they communicate? Do they have, like, their eyes open or anything?
Well, given their eyes are no longer inside of where their lids are, I mean,
Oh,
just initiative
good.
open.
You said that we have a bunch of like astropaths around trying to help with the detection of this thing, right?
So in theory, most of them do not want to go into the underdeck.
If there's one close by, can we try that could try to read this guy's mind? Is that a thing that we could try to get to happen?
Okay, yes. I rolled to see if there were any astropaths who were willing to come down. But yes, apparently there were at least a couple astropaths who were willing to follow down here into the underdecks.
We've got our good friend, whatever his name is.
Okay, where's our
Oh, the
Talon?
new guy. Yeah.
Oh, Thowlin, yeah.
Oh yeah, Thowlin.
I suppose if you asked Thowlin, he'd probably be up for the underdeck too.
Not gets much choice.
I mean, if people wanted him to come, he would have, but Romeo wouldn't have asked him. He's too much of a special snowflake. He's too green. I mean, I guess he's not, but also that doesn't mean Romeo wants to put him around the ship just yet, especially to deal with warp stuff, because he doesn't know how it interacts with them right now anyway.
only one way to find out?
Hey, if people were like, "Hey, you should bring Thalen," like Thalen, that's his name, Thalen. If we should bring him around, then he wouldn't say no. But he also
Well, at this
wouldn't
point,
necessarily
I'm
bring him
just
of his
saying,
own
Romeo,
accord.
people are dying. We should probably bring everyone we have to bear on this situation.
All right, then he's around.
I mean, if I could be helpful, I'd be down there looking, but I'm guessing that tech use with the aspect scanner is not going to go, oh, there's a demon.
No, that is not a thing the Auspex does, at least not when it's working properly. If the Auspex scanner is telling you there's a demon, it's probably only capable of that because there's a demon.
Uh,
I have a demon in your scanner. They don't tell you.
Just like one of those weird poltergeisty things where, like, you know, disembodied words start appearing on screens. Like, if your Auspex scanner says there's a demon, it's because weird shit's happening that's allowing your Auspex scanner to say shit that it shouldn't be able to say.
so it's basically like a weather rock in this instance. If the rock is wet, it's raining. If the rock is white, it's snowing.
Is the guy like breathing? He's now several organs.
His lungs are doing things.
Nice.
Mostly bleeding.
Yeah, there is a fair bit of blood. You're not quite sure how this individual is alive.
All right. Well, I mean, Thowlin's around. I'd ask him to read his brain so we can figure out what the hell happened. Because I don't think he can talk.
Yeah, no, his talkie parts are not in one piece. They're in multiple places now. So, yeah,
Well, this is fresh. Like,
To
is
be
there
fair,
any
that's not keeping
tracks?
his lungs from working.
Are there any tracks anywhere?
there are not. There is considerable scorching on the ground.
Does that lead in any direction?
No, it looks like footprints easily could be left in it, but none were. You guys have left footprints in it as you've entered the room.
And yet no one's mentioned seeing someone floating around the underdeck on gouts of fire. If you see something, say something, folks.
If you see something, say nothing and drink to forget.
Thanks, Cecil.
Sorry, I'm trying to. I have a lot of thingies open, trying to get back to roll 20. There we go.
Remember, guys,
Yeah,
what you
okay.
can see is not consent.
Yeah, so Thowlin reaches out his hand towards where you guys are at least theorizing his brain is. The whatever it used to be that's plastered all over the room. It's not going to live much longer.
Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, I think we figured that out.
What did it see?
Saw. Yeah, it saw a machine. Saw a machine in the shape of a man.
Well, that's the
Ever
next
seen
one
horror?
then. No, it's probably in the next one.
No, it could be a possessed servitor.
Doubt it.
Like, machines can, anything can get possessed. It could legitimately just be a possessed servitor. Especially because a bunch of them, maybe it's one of the ones that fell into the warp? Because we pulled a bunch of out of them into, like, half warp, right?
Well, exactly where we were, and we would have like as much, chance of possession as they would have. I mean, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's just a Necron. If it's not here anymore, it's going to be a Necron.
No,
Because it teleported away.
I mean,
So there's a demon possessed meta servitor or servitor just disappeared out of nowhere, like just disappeared then.
we don't know that it just teleported away. And also,
Demon possessed people don't do that, but Necrons do.
Does the scorch, does it come into and out of the room? Like, I know you said there weren't footprints on it, or in it, but, does it appear to have a path?
It does not. It appears to have been generated in the room.
Do we know if any servitors are unaccounted for?
Fuck no, you don't know if any servitors are unaccounted for.
I figured.
Taking inventory would, of course, take several years.
Yes. Like, do you know if any screws are unaccounted for on a construction site?
Do we know if any murder servers are accounted for? We have a limited number of those.
We have a crap ton of those, too.
To be
Oh,
fair,
yeah.
murder servitors don't have claws. They would definitely be some kind of, like... I don't know. There wouldn't be a handprint involved with, murder servitors.
That's true. The handprint is a suspicious thing. Other claws, they totally have claws.
I thought they just had, like... basically, like, saws at the end. Instead of claws.
It differs from guy to guy. I mean, yeah, pretty much all of them are probably going to have a chainsaw hand, but maybe also like a hand that has giant knives instead of fingers.
A
But,
reference to a 1980s horror villain, but not enough to actually get them copyright infringed.
They have miniature swords instead of knives.
Yeah, miniature swords. Possibly their name might be Jerry. Who knows?
But yeah, murder servers definitely do not have handprints to make. Well, rarely. Some of them may technically have hands. In a palm variety.
His name is now Ketty Fruger.
But you are right, murder servers are easier to take stock of. Since there's something that's actually maybe not inventoried, but they're incredibly dangerous and all kept in the same place. And not kept online to roam the ship, or made every, just occasionally made of. Okay, and the tech priests report back that there are no unusual missing murder servitors at the moment. In the supply, there are a few empty banks here and there from where murder servitors have been lost in the line of duty, but none are gone that you don't expect to be gone.
How the hell would a Necron get on this ship, though? Like, since Martellus?
No, it wasn't since Martellus for that particular one. It was just in the past week in the warp.
It's been in the past. Oh, yeah, okay, alright.
Martellus
Alright,
was killing other people,
I'm-
not us.
Yeah, I'm confusing the rumors, I guess.
Right.
Although, that's not to say that they all aren't the same, because I thought they have the same, like, MO, basically?
One was
No,
stabbing.
because
The other one was just stabbing.
and not just stabbings, but invisible stabbings.
Invisible
There was
stabbings.
no mechanical man.
Very precise, not primal and ravenous like this.
Does the guy who died still have all his skin?
I mean,
Well, not all.
his,
I mean, like, is he flayed? Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, his skin is here, just not in the usual places.
Okay, but it's not gone.
It's more here and there and there and
His
over there.
skin is still physically present in the chamber and connected to his body.
Okay, thanks.
Ramsey Bolton didn't do this.
I know what Josh was asking after.
What was he asking about?
Yeah, you're probably the only one who would know. There's a type of Necron called the flayed ones. They basically flay people and wear their skin.
Necrons, man.
Their MO explicitly being teleport in, rip people's skin off, teleport out.
Yeah, that is what they do.
And then take it all back to a city where they put it into big piles and it rots and they just sit there in rotting flesh and they love it.
I like that as a reason. It's very nihilistic. It's a very nihilistic reason. It's like, why do we do it? Because we like it.
Until like the flesh gets too rotted and then they go out and get more flesh so that they can have flesh.
That they can watch rot until it rots too much and they're bored of it again.
No, they just like it to be on them. They like to wear it, but then it rots and so they
Puts
need
the
more.
lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again.
Has no one taught these people about tanning?
Okay, so the two best guesses we have are legitimately Necron. Because, maybe the Magus brought something that he didn't tell us about because he's a jerk. And we should ask him about it. Or it's a possessed servitor that's getting worse. It would make sense for it to start precise and mechanical, and as the demon gets more power, because we're going into the warp, or as it gets a better hold on the thing, it gets more and more primal. Like, that
Well,
makes
it seems
sense
to be
to
fun.
me.
It seems like, I mean, it seems pretty ritualistic, or at least like
Well, my
interested in human organs.
My understanding of the early killings, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but my understanding was that they were stabbed inside of other people. Like, if there had been a servitor there, people would have seen it.
What do you mean, like the ones previously, like months ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the ones who have been happening since Martellus, the invaders.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, because they just fall over dead. Yeah, I completely missed that part in my brain. But yeah, that was stated.
These ones were like ripped apart, flamey bits,
BRB.
and all that jazz.
And Thaddeus, do an awareness.
Hooray. Whatever kind that is, it succeeds.
Okay, it is visual.
Then by lots.
All right. So as you guys are inspecting the area better, and for what it's worth, looking at this thing in this room, this wasn't just some dude with a scalpel. This took a lot of. This isn't just something you could do with surgery. This guy plastered around the room.
Yeah.
This took some shit.
Yeah, it seems pretty intricate.
Not just intricate, but like with human tools, you couldn't have done that to a person and have them still be a living being, I'm guessing.
Yeah, this is something that would have taken a lot of time from like an expert magis biologist or crazy creepy magic stuff.
I'm assuming the second one.
Well, we should probably get our biologist in here to look at it.
And let's see. The fact that Hodor is there is the only reason there is even a check made to see if they're willing to come down here.
Who? Sorry? The astropath?
Anybody. If Hodor was not in charge down here, nobody would be willing to come down here.
Okay.
You were on a tight ship.
Yeah, they respect me.
Yeah, actually, and the tech priest got the same role as the astropaths, so yes, they're also willing to come down and take a look at the thing. But Thaddeus, as you guys are discussing the finer points, investigating the scene, you didn't catch it at first, not when you guys were examining the room, but you do find on the outermost edge of the scorch mark that's just beyond the door. It looks like the scorchings originated from somewhere in the center of the room. It struck the walls, but a little bit of it did get outside of the door, scorched the floor.
Okay.
You do find several slender footprints.
Nice. Footprints, actual footprints. Can I track them?
You can certainly try.
As I like slip out of the room.
Yes.
Yeah, let's roll. That was a good success.
Hot damn, Thaddeus on point today.
Woo!
All right. Is Thaddeus just striking off on his own?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, as the biologist is examining the absolutely bonkers remains of the poor mutant, Thaddeus is sneaking off through, I assume sneaking. You just said tracking. I don't know if you're actually attempting to be stealthy with it.
Yeah, I can shadow. I mean, I think both of the same check, like
The
ability
same
wise.
rating or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, toss that out. Yeah,
Actually, one's intelligence, one's agility, but I can toss both out if you want.
good thing.
Yeah, it succeeds. My agility's good.
How many degrees? It might be relevant.
I don't know what my gear gives me anymore. I'll have a look.
You have so much fucking stealth gear.
Yeah, I got some self gear.
But the Magus does definitely confirm that whatever this is, it is not the work of a simple serial killer. This is not just a crewman who's gone mad. He's not certain that even something as crude as a ravenous demon engine could have accomplished something like this.
It's only 1 degree.
Okay. This was either someone very skilled or something empowered by the world. And empowered beyond just ravaging animal anger. Though they do add the note of assuming that this is not just what this disgusting mutant actually looked like in the first place.
I'm pretty sure he was more together than that.
Alright, and... Thaddeus, roll dodge.
Sure.
Hot damn.
For Annette.
I honestly dodge.
Okay, so you see a flash of something in your prey sense. It's not returning normal visual spectrum things, but you are getting some kind of heat signature that you see flash for just a second as you jump back.
Oh, that was fast and pretty scary.
You've been tracking this thing for a good while the Magus was doing his work back there.
Right.
And there is the distinctive clink as a sword blade strikes the wall just in front of you,
What the fuck?
where you dodged from, biting into the hull of it.
Can I draw my pistol? Like, what is there?
Well, you've lost sight of it again, even on the prey sense, but you do hear a voice now. Lord Crispin. I suppose it would be you.
Oh, is it that lady?
Suppose.
Is it that lady? I knew she'd be around.
Perhaps.
Who else in this tale would be the one to find us here?
The lady, I presume?
And which lady is it that you think I am?
I don't remember her name.
Mistress Tam.
Mistress Tam.
No. No.
No.
No, this is not the point. This is not the point in the tale when you find that particular woman.
What is it you were doing on our ship?
Tell a woman to come here, she can meet my fist. Older does not discriminate.
It's only
Based
me and
on
her.
gender.
What are we doing here? There is a momentary flash of a ghost field shutting down.
What's a ghost field? Oh, like a...
Normally you only see it on Eldar ships, not on an individual scale.
Oh, spooky ghost woman.
And with a massive neon pink sort of wig top knot sort of thing jutting from the top of the comedy mask patterned white helmet and a big multicolored coat. The figure does a little flourish with its blade and bows in front of you.
Wow, this is unexpected.
Solaire, Lord Crispin.
So you can act as a ghost now.
The ghost? My, no, I am surely still alive.
Am I still with Thaddeus?
No, I'm
Thaddeus-
on my own now.
Thaddeus snuck off from the rest of the group.
I
Yeah,
don't
he hasn't
suppose
done
you
radio-
opened your Vox channel when you started this conversation.
Yeah, it's up to him if he's transmitting.
Yeah, unless he says he's box transmitting, we don't know. I'm pretty sure he got like over 100 on his stealth check, so there's no way of it. Like, there's not even a real point to making a check. Like, more degrees of successes than I think either of us could make to see him.
Wait, so this is the lady from the Eldar group that stabbed the captain?
I think so. Yeah.
Certainly not the Farseer. You definitively killed the Farseer.
Okay,
Yeah, and
one of
Geralt
them. But
Does she
smashed
look
her
like
door.
someone? Like, is she someone he saw? I don't remember you mentioning neon pink hair before.
that's true.
No one you've met so far.
He
I think-
sounded like an Eldar like helmet. What you described, doesn't it, or not?
Yes, though it does have a face on it. It is a helmet, but there's a face on the helmet.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it looks like a jester's mask, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Classic jester face.
Like a harlequin. I think that's what they're called.
Yes. I admit we thought it would be quite a while longer before you discovered our presence.
Well, you made mistakes.
Ah, yes, we interfered with the tale. But it is so very interesting, we could not simply allow it to come to a close so early. We have attempted to keep our interference as limited as possible.
I'm so confused. What's murdering mutants got to do with the tail?
Oh, we have certainly not murdered any of the mutants. Well, very, very few mutants. The last time we put any of them to the sword was amongst the corrupted lot, back when we were dealing with that business on Martellus Prime.
Oh, so at least it is a human, like an Eldar from there, right?
Hmm?
So it is, at least it is an Eldar from that Forge world.
Theoretically.
So give me a reason why I shouldn't just shoot you right now.
However, you will find that quite difficult one way or the other.
Do you want to bet?
Are we taking bets now?
Sure.
As thoroughly entertaining as the prospect would be, I cannot afford either my death or yours at the moment, Lord Crispin.
And
No,
she
mine.
tried to stab you.
She's got. There's some distance between us, right?
Not a lot. You dodged out of the way of a sword attack, but
Fair.
just dodged, not ran away from.
Okay.
Oh, I'm quite certain you're telling your compatriots of our presence here now, however.
I haven't told anyone as of yet.
Not yet. How curious. But that's fitting, isn't it? So many secrets left unsaid.
Maybe I haven't understood you, Eldar. This constant web of secrets and lies.
Secrets and lies are the currency in which my people peddle. Though I and mine, who are here aboard, are here for a far different reason.
Care to share that before I start the witch hunt?
We are here for the tale.
The tale.
Yes! We are here for the story.
You're some demented folk.
Basically, we've picked up some stabbity bards.
Seems so. I mean, they're pretty mental for Eldar.
Shit, if they're killing people that come on this ship, they're kind of useful. Enemy of my enemy, friend type thing.
Well, so these are the good ones.
Yeah, these are the people that have been ripping people apart.
They're like
No,
murder
enemies.
rowdies.
They're not dark Eldar, is I think what.
No. What I'm saying is like these aren't these are the people that just have been stabbing people, not the ones that have been ripping them apart. Not the thing that's been ripping them apart and chewing them and burning them.
Right. I see.
I don't know if you know that.
Well,
It's what I've picked up from the conversation. They might know
Yeah.
what's doing that though.
Well,
Maybe
except
she-
for that, I followed the trail from the room, and we just found the dude's like fucking body strewn over
Which
the walls.
only means they were there. It doesn't mean they caused it.
Okay, then I'm gonna ask them. So, you've had some strange occurrences on this ship. Obviously, you're some of that. I want to know what part of that you are.
What part of the occurrences on board we are responsible for? No more than a few idle ghost stories among your voidfarers. Nothing unusual, nothing that would truly tamper with the tale of your journeys and exploits.
But there has been some unusual things. Do you know anything about that?
Of course we do.
Right. Of course.
It is quite an interesting tale. Deception, betrayal, monsters, death, struggle. It has been a joy to observe. We have been recording it in a grand ballad.
Who are you?
Love to hear what they have so far.
I will, but I want to know who they are first. Is there any like specific markings, as Eldar usually have those?
Certainly no Forge World or not Forge World, Craft World markings. None of those.
I think that would distinguish them as a type of Eldar.
Not within your sphere of knowledge. You know somewhat about the Eldar.
I just wanted a symbol, not like just that I could remember, rather than like know things about.
Well, aside from the multi-patterned coat and the neon hair, not in particular. Well, the jester face and neon mohawk.
Oh yeah,
The jester face, neon mohawk, and Technicolor Dreamcoat.
okay, I'll remember all of these things. So you've been writing a tale or a bardic poem or a song, as it were?
Well, one of many, been cataloguing many of your exploits. You've all been on such interesting journeys, together and individually. Sadly, I am not the one who is tasked with recording the exploits and the life's journey of your captain. That is another.
do the Elder do this normally? Like,
I don't think so. I think these guys are just fucking weird.
At such time as I get clued in on it, I'll make a knowledge Zennith check.
Romio's got knowledge in this as well, right? Or any? Is it like?
Too.
could you let us know
Is-
meta-wise either way, Eric? If Elder do this?
In this case, no. No, we'll have fun with this.
I mean, I have no
Fine, You
idea.
don't need advanced knowledge.
I just want to know that you're not this sort of ravaging demons that have been killing some of the mutants here.
No, my dear.
No.
No, we are not. Rest assured, we are more than capable of murdering a vast portion of your crew. That is certainly not why we're here.
No, I understand that, but do you know anything about those?
Someone actively snoring?
I was wondering.
That's my dog. Sorry.
I think
my
it's a
dog.
dog.
Yeah, it's my
Hearing
puppy.
that for a while.
Sorry. Should have said something. I'll mute my mic.
I was afraid
He's not-
someone had fallen asleep. I was like, Things are a little slow paced right now with that slow paced.
Also, he ain't a puppy. I've seen your dog. He's big.
Big dogs are
He's
still puppies.
he's a puppy. He's a puppy in my eyes.
I was gonna say I'm actually finding this all quite interesting.
All dogs are puppies.
Yeah, Romeo doesn't know these dudes, but he likes these dudes.
And this evolved pretty quickly into things I didn't know was going to happen. Yeah, that's my head.
I mean, honestly, if they could kill most of the crew and they're not actively killing the crew right now, I'm pretty cool with them, or I will have been once I will have been informed.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like Eldar, but I mean, they're not killing everyone, which is different than most Eldar do.
To be fair, the last ones we met were nice enough until they shot me.
Yeah. I mean, they're pretty advanced. I don't really want to start fucking with them. But yeah, all I want is some information on these demons, or I don't even know what was killing the crew.
Telling me that or explicitly asking her that? Wait, what was that?
The just a woman.
Oh, you are actually asking her.
Yeah, I want to know about the demon, or whatever's killing the crew.
Oh, well, now you see, I cannot tell you that.
No, of course you couldn't. Nothing's ever that simple.
The story is not over yet, you see.
I think she said Solaire. Something like that.
She did say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We will be more than happy to tell the tale once it has come to an end, but we cannot be the ones who end the struggle for you.
So what was you doing in that room with that man on the wall?
Well, we are telling the tale. We must observe its happenings.
Okay, so did you observe whatever killed it?
Of course we did. We would not be very good tale spinners if we did not.
So you're just there to watch it and then run away and playfully swing a sword at my head.
Yes, from time to time. Well, this would be the first time I swung a sword at your head. I have balanced it above you while you were sleeping once or twice. That was entertaining.
Huh? Good to know. Well, since you have no more useful information for me, I guess this is where we part ways.
Oh, don't worry. We'll be about.
I imagine you will.
Never further away than you imagine.
I'm paranoid as fuck now.
Was that?
So I'm paranoid as fuck now. Should be Eldars on our ship. Well, I'm on my way back with everyone else.
Oh, as you are starting to leave, Solaire does note. Oh, would you mind asking dear Zephyr if she would not mind providing the access codes to her personal logs?
I'll keep that in mind.
Should have gotten on their case about messing up the story by messing up your tracking. Considering they're basically messed up the crime scene by being there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've
good
already
for all them.
inserted themselves into the story.
Yeah, good for all their talk about trying to insert themselves into the story, but then also try to kill one of the main characters.
No, they just messed up the crime scene. So they've inserted themselves into the story whether they like it or not.
Well, they did just swing a sword at my head. That is a little.
That's just an afterthought, but they don't care about that.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to tell us anything about the story, but they've already messed it up. by getting in your way.
Mm.
The way it was going to tell itself without them is now messed up.
Yeah, definitely Harlequins. Yeah. Literally just typed in the front, like the Eldar Codex, literally what you're describing.
But yeah, so Thaddeus makes his way back to the group at large.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the Magus Biologist has delivered his report, Thaddeus just sort of appears again in the inky blackness of the underdecks.
Yeah, I will recount my tale with the Eldar in our ship. But they don't seem to be a threat.
They don't seem to be a threat currently, but they've made it clear that if they wanted to be, they could.
Also,
Yeah.
whose story are they recording if it's not Zephyr's?
Yeah, it's his house.
Or I guess Solaire might be in charge of Zephyr considering he asked for the codes.
Mhm.
But she ain't. Also, why didn't you... I want that cloaking field. Why didn't you tell me they're here? I want to talk to them about cloaking fields.
I don't think they're willing to share.
From what else they said, it seems unlikely.
We're trying to find possibly a robot demon right now. I'm just putting that out there for unlikely things.
Well, I mean, there's so much there's things, there's known knowns, there's known unknowns, and there's unknown unknowns. This is an unknown unknown.
You're making my head hurt.
There are things we know, there are things we know that we don't know, and there are things we don't know we don't know.
She's just gonna really cover his mouth area.
No, that's like isn't that a Colin Powell quote?
Pardon?
Who said that first? No, who said that first? God damn it! Oh, it was Churchill, right?
No.
No. It's Donald Rumsfeld.
I can tell you who it is, but it'll take me a while.
I do like that quote. I've heard that quote before. I do like it.
I found it in my lecture. Well, it's in my lecture today.
Wikipedia
Says
says Rumsfeld.
Holder does not like Sissy Elder running around under deck,
Well, you won't be able to find them.
thinking they are better than Hodor.
Yeah,
Holder would
it
like-
originated from Rumsfeld.
Holder would like to give these Eldar peace of mind, and by that, he means peace of fist.
I mean, dude, let's just... It sound like a fun time. We should hang out sometime.
Well, I'm fairly sure they're listening to us right now.
What if they
There's
ever got
nothing.
into my ship?
I just think they're getting in the way now.
It is unsettling to consider them standing over you in your sleep.
I'm certainly going to keep my eyes open.
Like, you're not doing a very good job at whatever job they think they're doing if they're getting in our way of this.
They're not getting in our way. They just like to tell stories.
No, because Josh would have actually followed the fucking demon and not the invisible Eldar.
Well, the demon wasn't there. Like,
The
the
demon
only
only
tracks I
tracks
found
them.
were...
Yeah, the demon only tracks in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't know. We learned a thing, but is it really relevant to our current witch hunt? I don't know.
It does allow us to
We know something
tighten.
about ghosts.
It allows us to tighten our cordon on the activities of the creature we hunt. Since we now know to whom to attribute the mysterious stabbings.
True enough. Alright, so leaving out the mysterious stabbings, and knowing that those Eldar kind of like us, I want to meet them one day, but I'll do that on downtime. Right now, we gotta, like, solve murders, I guess. And then fight orcs.
Yes, I'd like to take out whatever's messing with the warp, because I don't want to stay here.
Indeed, homesteading the system was never in the plans.
As much as those stories from Gaius seem to think otherwise. Something about a
Okay, well-
summer or vacation home.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to recount the features of Solaire to both the captain and Romeo to do the relevant checks.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, yes. Knowledge Xenos. Do it. Do the thing.
I did it.
Oh wow.
Both
That's
things
two.
were done.
That's 2 degrees. I'm not real good at Xenos.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
Captain's
2.
a lot better. Captain's a lot better.
Okay, yeah. Between the two of you, basically discussing back and forth, yeah, you do pretty definitively know that these were Eldar Harlequins. They aren't Dark Eldar or regular Eldar. They're more like a third delineation. They just divide themselves into acting and performance troupes and the like, going around telling the stories of the Eldar. And are also master murder people.
Wait, telling the stories of the Eldar. So how does this tie in?
Probably does somehow.
Who knows, man? Give me a second. I'm gonna get a picture. I'm gonna get a picture of that one dude with the crazy hair going aliens,
Oh
and
hey,
then
this is
post
totally
that.
the story of the Eldar. Remember, somewhere down the line, somebody from Martellus or something like that is supposed to fuck up the shit.
He's supposed to destroy a bunch of the universe. Yeah, I guess it's our fault.
But shouldn't they be staying with Martellus if that's the story they're chasing?
No, they said he originated on Martellus, and then it was be his descendant from way down the line. As far as we know, it could be one of the dudes we sent off to the Imperium to help fight with the war.
Then
it's
again,
just-
it no longer resides with us,
Unless it does.
which would be why they're here.
Man, if I was held accountable for every bad thing in the universe, I'd be dead a long time ago.
Well, but
Hell, if I was
honestly,
held
though,
accountable
wait,
for all the bad things I've done, I'd be dead a long time ago.
no. If it's still in the ship, I don't think they even have a vested interest in killing it, simply because they're not there to intervene. They're just there to record.
Oh man, if really wants to find them later is to hear their stories. It seems like a fun thing to do.
Well, we have at least one bargaining chip. Since they apparently want my logs.
Nah, those RZ types, they'll tell them if you just get them drunk.
My time has come.
I've waited all of my life for this.
What rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards 6 to be born.
But actually, I think we should ask the Arc Magus we have on the ship right now if this is Necron, because that is the most logical place for it to come from.
Yeah, that we know about. And holy fuck this, that guy, Solaire or girl, I don't know. They're like insane, high rank, super Eldar people.
Well, saying they're high rank implies that they have a rank.
I don't, but by that I just mean like they're deadly as fuck.
Oh, you mean rank as in not like military rank, but rank as in like we are all currently rank 2.
Well, no, I don't know the stats I just mean like the role that they are is a big one, as it were.
The Harlequin, servants of the Laughing God.
Well, yeah, but specifically a solitaire.
Yeah, I was just noting her name is Solaire. She is not a solitaire.
Well, she looks like one. I mean, they're the ones who got the masks on.
Eldar, everyone has masks and helmets.
Well, you specifically said Jester's, and they kind of looks like a Jester's mask.
The the Solitaire certainly do have those, but not necessarily exclusive to them.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. They're alone, so there's something.
Yeah, a Solitaire, by their nature, would not be traveling with a troop.
Yeah. Also, who the fuck is the Laughing God? I don't know anything about this.
Shigo?
It's an Eldar god.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's fairly obvious, but who are they?
yeah. Shigora, the Laughing God, the one Eldar god that survived the fall of the Eldar and wasn't eaten by Slanesh.
Yeah, he was hidden away by the demon lords.
I thought he just hid himself away because he's fucking.
Oh, I read that I read that like Tia and the War God helped some of the
Didn't
other
Kane
gods.
also survive
Define
in like
survival.
parts, like fragments?
Bits of him did.
Well, yeah, no, like the other demon lords tried to help these gods survive. I read Nurgle and
There's a lot of stories about how Shigorath survived.
well,
But
yeah,
the point is, he did.
on 1D4chan it says that Khorne and Nurgle helped him survive.
Possibly, possibly not. Possibly, possibly not. That's in the area of the lore that is not well defined. There are a million different stories and ways that he could have survived. Pretty much all of them are, at the very least, because of himself. If the Chaos Gods helped him survive, it's because he tricked them into doing it. Because that's his thing. He is the Eldar Trickster God.
And over there wearing R1.
For the personal ghost field stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
All the hollow suit, hollow fields, all that shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff is, I guess, at least the weapon-wise, Xeno tech. Which makes me sad.
Right. So, well, anyways, at the moment, you believe there is at least a strong possibility the Harlequins are listening in on whatever it is you happen to be talking about. And you at least suspect it wasn't them who murdered people?
Yeah, I don't think it was. They're the good guys. Well, they're the non-threatening guys. So far. Using words to define these people is difficult.
They have their
That
own
we
special
found-
they have their own special interests which do not necessarily align with flaying people.
Yes. To be fair, we thought the same of the Farseer.
There's a lot of things in our ship that we don't know about currently.
I blame Hodor. This is his realm.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just the easiest to get lost in. Doesn't nothing to do with him.
I now regret saying that you're on a tight ship.
Who's lost? Somebody lost in my underdeck.
No, just it's a good. The underdecks are a good place to hide, as the Elder have
Oh
been
yeah.
doing.
I figured if we did go, if my plan worked out and like we blew up the Space Marine transport, and the Space Marines tried to come on the ship, and you guys gave them me, I would just run to the underdecks and hide forever.
Hide,
That
how
was-
are you gonna hide when you're like the size of a tank?
Trust me, you can hide forever in the underdecks.
Forever? No.
Effectively, yeah.
Forever?
For the rest of his life. Forever.
Yeah,
Forever,
because
ever?
by the time he kind of
How many years? I mean,
Yeah, well, until I die, until
Yeah.
Hodor dies.
Yeah, it's possible that eventually his body might be found, but he could probably end up dying of old age hiding in the underdecks. If Hodor is even capable of dying of old age. Not to say that Hodor will live forever, just curious if something else will kill him before that, with all the crap shoved into his body.
It's just at this point, it's just a second heart and muscle gas.
That's enough though.
And you're also a mutant.
What, the muscle graft and a second heart? I got 2 hearts. I should live longer.
And when you die, you should regenerate.
You are also a genetic mutant, and you live in the underdecks.
it's still
Also,
interesting few years
Grog.
off your life.
Also, Grog.
Hodor's
Better.
liver. Hodor's liver is immune to grog.
What are we gonna do next?
We still need to go talk to our Archmagus.
Ah, yes.
So you bring yourself before the Magus' chambers?
Yep.
Alright, well, you are more than able to bring yourselves before his chambers, at least. They are sealed. And over the little personal vox connecting to the outside of the door that was not there before, a voice does come crackling over. Greetings, Captain Zephyr, Gearride Seraphim. What can we do for you?
We'd like to discuss our current understanding of goings-on the ship. We were hoping to have the Magus' input on the matter.
Very well. The Magus will be available in an hour.
Have them meet us in the conference room then.
Understood. Thank you for visiting, Captain. And the box cuts.
Well, we should probably head on our way then.
Yes, and in case, or unless there is anything further within the span of that hour.
Once we're a decent distance from the intercom, I'm going to say, I swear, I don't run this ship. I just ride it. Like an avalanche.
Well, I suppose he's got no specific obligation towards us. He's just a passenger.
And you don't even have good passenger cabins.
I mean, technically, at the current moment, I believe we are actually in service of him because he is paying for transport.
Technically true.
On this ship, you call me idiot, not you, Captain. Wait.
I suppose it depends on exactly where the definitions fall. Because, I mean, it's not like the bus driver on the bus works for you just because you bought a pass.
So we're just shuttling him, basically.
But if you charter a boat, does the captain of the boat work for you?
I mean, but it's also like, if you buy if you pay for a truck, the truck driver does technically work for you if you are transporting like goods.
The point is, it's a gray enough area here that arguments could be made either way.
I would say that they work for you until such time as the contract is fulfilled.
But if nothing further is intended in the intervening hour before the Magus rouses himself and gets down there,
I assume just more trying to track and trying to gather information.
well, certainly you guys continue the cataloging of hints and rumors that have threaded throughout all of your departments. The Astropads and Dowlin, since he's been brought in, have all been going about doing their best, but not a lot being turned up. And eventually, the hour does come, and the Great Magus does join you in the conference room. Around the bullet-marked Martellin table.
Such a good table.
Best table.
So, what precisely have you roused me for, Lord Captain?
Well, we are now aware that we have at least 2 sets of visitors on the ship. One group of which appears to be killing intruders and recording our story. And the other of which has done some truly terrible things to some people in the underdecks.
I see. And are either of these occurrences slated to interfere with our activities?
It may be that our serial killer might.
The chances are low given the population of the ship and the distance of the underdeck, but
It depends on whether he becomes more ambitious.
there is a possibility if he begins to target important individuals. What is it that you all would ask of me?
We were hoping that you might have information. I'm going to lay out the parameters of what we've seen that we are attributing to our serial killer. and inquire, have you seen anything like this before?
Specifically, this. Nothing quite as this. Do you know how long it's been, or how quickly the act was undertaken?
The amount of time it took to turn a person into that?
Yes, I would not put it past the genitals amongst the logicians. He looks to Romeo.
Well, presumably during that hour, I mean, we said we've been investigating other matters related to that. Certainly, as much of a timeline of the victim's life that could be assembled will be one of the things we'd be trying to get together.
There isn't a lot of cataloging and paperwork.
Not paperwork, but people knew him. Presumably, someone's upset he's dead.
It is
Assuming that he died and isn't remaining horribly alive.
No. Dead shortly after Thaddeus' departure. I do not believe there's anything further that I can tell you of the creature. Murderer, whatever it is.
Do you have any suggestions for hunting something of this nature?
Hodor suggests that we could bait it out.
What would you suggest as using for bait?
Hodor suggests using Hodor as bait.
Not that you are not a magnificent anomaly, Your Majesty. But why you?
Hodor would like to punch a creature that has been devouring Hodor's subject.
But is your desire particularly enticing to the creature?
Well, if it's a generator like you're saying, they do have explicit cause to try to get at Hodor being such a magnificent specimen.
This is true.
A generator? What's a generator?
Like genetically specialized members of the Mechanicus. The first thing you brought up is that it could be a like Mechanicus janitor that's around.
And janitors do this to people usually?
I mean, if he's killing mutants, it fits an MO, and also it fits with what Thalon said of a machine man. If you had a really, decked out Mechanicus, he would basically be a machine in the shape of a man. Although Romeo at this time is going to bring up explicitly that some of the investigation party wondered if it could be Necron.
Yes, Hodor will go down and bait generator out, if it's such thing. And then Hodor will punch it in the face and it will die.
I have no doubt that if it is a mere Magus Biologist, a mere genital, that you would have no trouble at all killing him with a mere blow. You are quite large and powerful. So I'm very curious how whatever it is able to come and go. Necron, you say?
Fits the bill. Machine Man comes and goes as he pleases. As far as we know, Necrons have some kind of teleportation.
They didn't mention it smelling terrible. What? Like 100% of my experience with this has been, oh my god, it smells like absolute death. Aside from that, it's coming to kill us. Let us close this cage immediately.
Yeah, true enough. And you wouldn't be able to notice the smell if it did smell down in the underdecks. Everything smells there.
It is not so bad once you get used to it.
I mean, you either get used to it or your nose melts off and becomes a trunk or something.
You are certain of the reports of this Thowlin?
He read it right from the mind of the latest victim.
And you trust his judgment and ability?
I trust his ability. I will give you that his judgment could be impaired. But that said, dude's seen some shit. I don't think he got squeamish because he saw some stuff. He's probably seen worse than I've seen. Like, legitimately, dude's probably like insanity 60 or something. Like,
I have my doubts that there would be any Necron operating here.
there's a few prevailing theories. Necron, possessed servitors, janitors.
Certainly, if Hodor manages to punch it, we'll have something to analyze.
Whether it would accept the mutant as a lure would depend entirely on what it is and how intelligent it may be. If it is a genitor of some variety who is terrorizing your vessel for reasons that I cannot begin to speculate on, I would hope for the others of my profession that you would be intelligent enough to know not to approach our sire Hodor.
Even if this is the case, we could just approach. Let's see what mutants I can drag up on the fly. I think I have ones that are just like grotesque, but like actually suck. That I can just get like one or two of them to act as grotesque. The mutant is either badly deformed, scarred, or bestial. Minus 20 on fellowship test, plus 10 on intimidate. So yeah, they just kind of suck.
They're the diplomacy mutants.
Pardon? Oh, the diplomacy mutants, yeah.
Yeah, they're the diplomacy mutants. They're there for when you have to intimidate people.
Oh man, Romeo's dumb. If I could retcon it, I would. But if not, he's gonna say now, like, we're deploying a bunch of Zero skulls around the area. We're just blanketing the area we were just in. But that was an hour ago, and he could have gotten away. I could have thought of it earlier.
Well, I mean, it probably would just teleported out since the only tracks I found were off Eldar tracks. And that was literally just the only tracks that were there.
I mean, it's not crazy to think that it wouldn't leave tracks if it burned it from the door outside. Like, that, you're assuming it would leave tracks in the burns because it moved through them, but there is, like, maybe it didn't teleport him, it just burned whatever was there and then went in.
Where? I mean, it's going to leave tracks somewhere.
Is this discussion actually taking place?
Sure.
Yeah.
You assume the possibility that it touched the ground to begin with.
This is
Also
true.
true.
Servo skulls don't need to.
What I'm saying is, it teleported away, leaving no tracks.
It could have hovered.
Yeah,
Not
but it
that
would
it
need.
didn't teleport. We were just expressing that before it teleported, it would also hover. So it's not not that it's hovering not to leave tracks, but it's not leaving tracks, so it's not touching the floor.
Is this under the assumption that it's a Necron, possibly?
No, I think we're past the Necron idea.
So what is this talk of teleporting thing? Like, what do we think the teleporting thing is then?
I mean, that what I'm saying is that would it need like no tracks does not equal teleportation. No tracks equals a few things, one of which could be teleportation, or it didn't go in the room, or it didn't even walk on the ground in the first place. There's a few different reasons why it could not leave tracks, not just it.
I mean, it would have to have been in the room at some point to do the things it did to the man.
But if that would be assuming that it didn't burn it afterwards.
But what? Why did it leave marks? I assumed the marks were there as it exploded. Like there was an explosion because of an event that happened, e.g.,
Or-
a teleportation. That would leave a mark somewhere, I would think.
Or the dude exploded because demons.
Well, then we would see the dude in the room.
We did.
Dude,
Well, I mean, no.
feeding.
What I'm saying is the dude that got cut open. Like the possible explanations are crazy good medical skill or demon shit, and exploding for no reason sounds like demon shit.
Well, who's exploding for no reason here?
The dude that we found exploded.
But he's not exploded though.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he's
don't
not
think
like
it was
normal.
exploded.
He's not.
I thought it was something like just precision.
There were scorch marks on the floor. Were there also scorch marks on the guy?
Oh yeah, like all of the other bodies, there was scorch marks on him.
Right, but it sounded like you were describing on the floor, certainly like the scorch from an explosion, because you said that it was,
In the center of the
not
room,
like
going
it.
outwards.
Right. Exactly.
The way I'm picturing it is like in the center of the room, there's this dude. He's there. He may or may not be on some kind of altar contraption or raised up, and the explosion is coming from that center point of the room. And what I'm saying is like, picture like Iron Man 3 plot point where the person themselves explodes because demons.
What? So he explodes into several parts and is still alive. Is what you're saying?
Dude, demons are weird.
What? I mean, that's just implausible. I think.
So are walls melting and servitors going into the floor, and I've seen both of those things happen.
No, I mean, there's things that make sense, as in, like warp shit, and then there's things like, oh yeah, no, there was an explosion, and now he's in several parts. I mean, we saw what he looked like. That was, I don't know, I assume there's some sort of warp magic going on there, but not an explosion for no particular reason. Well, it doesn't really matter now. I mean, we're not really getting anywhere.
Right. I think the best way forward is to attempt to lay eyes on things, and the best plan we currently have for that is to dangle Hodor out there like a massive piece of meat. Unless anyone has a better plan.
Nope, I'm into that one.
No, that's fine.
We probably should flood the area with servo skulls, though.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a tracking device that we can put on Hodor?
For like within the ship tracking, I'm gonna say yes.
Cool. We should definitely tag Hodor. Ideally in such a way that it's not easy to remove or shut off.
I mean, Hodor might as
Okay.
well do this. Generally, when there's inexplicable deaths on the ship, it is his fault.
Hodor just shoots a look over at Zennith.
She just
Sick
kind of
man.
half smiles at him.
Hey, inexplicable deaths happen all the time, especially in the Underdeck. They're just happening a bit more than usual right now.
Can you feel that burn, Hodor? Because I know the men you killed can feel it.
Oh.
Hodor did not personally kill any men. This is falsehood. You are a perpetuating lie. Some might say that is what the liar does. Some might say you are a liar.
I'm a seneschal. Of course I'm alive.
He's quite good at his job.
Okay, let's do this.
Alright, so Hodor's tagged. What exactly are you doing with Hodor to put him out there as bait? Where is out there? Since this is all within the ship.
He's just going to be wandering around, like, not well-traveled areas of the underdeck, like, where the attacks keep happening. He's just going to, like, wander there during the wee hours of what can be considered morning or night, when most of the shift's asleep and nobody's out there anyway.
I'm assuming it's like
Could have been
I was-
make him a literal honeypot.
I'm assuming it's actually like New York, where like people work on opposite shifts to make sure stuff's always running.
Yeah, but I'm sure, like, there's probably less people at night or something. Who knows?
We're in space. There's no night.
You know what I mean. I don't know.
Yeah, aside from the times that you guys personally sleep, I don't think the ship technically has the equivalent of a night. Just to pick
Okay.
the time when certain officers would be asleep. And especially the fucking underdecks. The underdecks are like a jungle. Except made of rusty stuff. Like a junkyard jungle, filled with mutants. That Hodor marginally keeps in line.
So I guess the
Weirdest
king is
Guns N'
going.
Roses album.
And, hold on, I need to open the door real quick.
Yeah, so anybody have any better ideas about bait, or just wandering around low population areas?
Can we put you in an overcoat to make it look like you're like 6 mutants, but you're actually just 1 mutant in a very large overcoat?
You could put me in an overcoat.
It's the
I look
weirdest reversal.
I'll look like that. Have you guys seen BoJack Horseman?
I haven't.
Yes, I have.
It'll be like the cat's boyfriend. It's just like 3 kids standing on top of one another in a trench
Yes.
coat. Yeah.
See, that's what we want it to look like, but it actually is just you. It's the reverse of that.
Well, yeah, no, I know. I'll be right back. I gotta do grown-up stuff.
I got business to do.
Let me see if I can actually find a clip.
Right, so Hodor is just walking alone, middle of the night. Where the,
Servo skulls at a discreet distance.
where the streetlights are dim. Totally not
Street lights.
on some kind of serial rapist sting operation.
Wow, this got even darker quickly.
Oh, wow.
If you want to let me in on it, I can shadow you.
Yeah. Shadow me.
Okay.
Roll for stealth.
Yeah, that's enough actually. No degrees, but that's enough.
Alright. So awareness on both of you.
Uh, sight, yes. Everything
I'm
else.
gonna fade that. There we go. That's a success.
Okay. Hodor is aware of sound of metal clanking against the floor and footsteps.
Hodor puts his right hand on the sword sheath, readying an attack, and then he he powers up his power fist, but no, he doesn't power it up. It's just he just clenches it, getting ready to punch somebody with it.
Okay. From around the corner comes what appears to be one of the tech priests. At least he's wearing the robes of one. There's two burning, fiery points where his eyes would be.
Huh?
And stares.
Hodor's gonna say any last words, and then charges at him.
Oh, right. He will give out a binary screech.
Beautiful.
Basically, sounds like a 56K modem making a battle cry.
That is terrifying, actually.
Yeah.
Just because of the terror of the 56K modem.
He appears to be wielding his basic signature of office, his his omniscient power axe. Nice big two-handed power axe with a half a cog back on it.
Classic.
Wait, Shant knows everything?
What?
I think this is what it's called.
I think you just called his power axe omniscient.
Omniscient,
Okay,
as in of
Okay.
the Omnissiah.
okay. All right, I understood that as an entirely different thing.
This power axe is my god now. It knows everything.
It's literally a map and so much more.
Yeah, so he responds by charging in kind with his big old fuck off axe.
Okay.
Although the axe is seeming to somewhat writhe and even scream along with him as he draws closer.
Beautiful. Does that put us into combat?
Yes, I suppose this would be combat. Depending on how long this individual can survive.
Not very long.
Okay. Initiative.
Which you get a bonus to with your power weapons.
Yes.
Ready? These power weapons give you a bonus to initiative.
As an arch militant, he gets initiative bonus when using his chosen arch militant weapon.
Okay, well you can just say power weapon.
Okay, then.
Oh wait, it'd be +6, but yeah, so 16. So mine would be actually higher.
By one, yes.
Are you just gonna set up a hallway here?
I was more just using this to keep track of the initiative because it's just 3 people in a hallway.
Okay.
I'm not sure how far away Thaddeus is. He could theoretically be as far away as you wanted him to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like within 40 meters, but other than that, it doesn't really matter.
Within 40?
Yeah, somewhere within 40.
Right, okay.
Not like you're gonna have the super long snipe lines inside the ship.
Well, you could
Yeah.
have
Just
chosen a
just-
really long corridor if you wanted.
This is charge. How much do I get a bonus to hit on the end of a charge?
Yeah. It says on the combat thing.
Yeah, I don't have the book
It's
open right now.
plus 10. You
Plus
don't need
10.
the book, it's just on the handouts.
Okay.
So you are doing a charge on this guy?
Yep.
You are performing the charge action.
Hmm. Does that mean I can't multi-attack this turn?
Well, yes, it does mean you can't multi-attack this turn, but that is not why I'm asking. Since multi-attack itself is a full turn action.
Yeah.
So I suppose that would then mean which thing are you charging with? You have 2 weapons.
Power fist. Wait. Unless the demon thing has a special thing that bonuses charge, but
Awesome.
we wouldn't know that yet.
I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna swing at him with it.
Okay, you still have the demon weapon stats, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll write that shit down. I wrote down.
Isn't it just plus 10? Well, you get plus 20.
Because it's a power weapon.
Oh, yeah, balance, isn't it? Yeah.
The balance is only for parry.
Oh, right, yeah.
No, but I
So
get
you
plus
get
10.
some
on
Mark
power weapon.
militant shit.
I get a plus 10 to hit on my chosen weapon.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Your rolling to hit is unnecessary.
What do you? It automatically hits on a charge.
Basically, this is something that you normally have to draw on intentionally, but this is your just moment of discovery as you charge in on this guy. Furious with him murdering your people here. Furious with him here to try and murder you. You draw on the rage and power of the demon held inside the sword. And you lash out with that thing. Which...
That is fucking awesome.
So everyone gets hit within 1 meter.
Everyone
just-
within 1 meter of the thing being hit gets hit.
And you don't even have to roll.
No. Although it is friend or foe, so if there's any
Can only
foes
be
on
used
melee,
once
they get
every
hit.
other round. Wow.
This thing's awesome.
So it
But
is,
yeah, you can only do it on a charge though, right?
yeah, can only do it on a charge and only once every other round. And it is indiscriminate between friend or foe. But it is destructive.
Yeah, that's like, what, 9 squares of death?
Yeah, so
Would that also include Hodor since he's within 1 meter of the thing
No,
that gets
no,
hit by?
it's impact. So it's everything but me.
well, the fact it's impact doesn't mean anything as far as that. But yeah, it's everyone by him. Okay, so this guy is not dead yet, but he is not in great shape as he's ripped open by a demon blade.
How would a furious impact look? Does it just like how would that like visually so I can like visualize it in my head?
It's mostly just like a cleave attack in D&D. It's just this
Oh,
big,
okay.
huge, furious swing that you cleave across everybody in front of you.
Okay.
And yeah, then I guess Thaddeus would be the next one.
20 aim, half aim's 20 on an accurate weapon. I think that's what the modifiers I get.
What are you shooting with?
Pistol.
Ah, yes, your fancy new one.
I'll try out, yeah. I think it's just 20.
And
That is maximum.
it was every 2 degrees of success is plus 1d10 on an accurate weapon?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's,
Well, up to 3d10. You can't do any more than 3d.
yeah.
That's also 9 pen.
Okay, so that shot hits him, and the sort of eldritch fire streaks over him, licks over his body as fires want to, and then just kind of flickers out without any apparent damage to him or his clothing.
That's interesting.
But suddenly you see the fire eyes blink for a moment, looking around. Sort of little drool coming from the corner of his mouth, confused. Blinking, bleary-eyed. Remove the pen from your weapon.
Okay. It is removed. Okay, so this makes them retarded.
It is the
Wow.
retard gun, yes.
Nice. I mean, I think if they get to a certain like minus of intelligence or perception, then they just literally are taken out from combat.
They are.
Just from everything.
When I said that it was the kindest gun, it really is, because you know that you can recover ability damage within a few hours. I mean, it would take a couple days to recover a fully drained stat,
Yeah.
but technically that gun doesn't kill people. It's the most non-lethal gun you guys own.
Yeah.
It kind of
No, that's super useful because you can like take it into question people. There's a lot of times where we kind of want to be able to torture people to make them answer things. That gun is very good at that.
I need to find a thing.
oh dude. My router's so shit. It disconnects me from the internet like for like a few seconds every once in a while.
What battery on what?
My router.
Oh, okay. Why's your router on a battery?
It's not. I just said my router. My router's really shitty. Disconnects me from the internet every once in a while. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it's so crappy.
Mine just straight up stopped working a few days ago. I'm hooked into our main router.
Router. Damn Americans. And Canadians, I guess.
Okay, so quick question: how does the damage on that gun work?
Instead of dealing damage to health, calculate how much damage it would deal, and instead split that in half. deal one half of that to intelligence, one half of it to perception.
So, but you're talking about like the stat, not the score. So that means like if you had 36, it wouldn't be 3, it would be 36, or would it be 3?
Wait, where are you getting the 3 from?
Is it like the modifier at the end that you're taking away from?
No, it's the full.
Okay, it's the full stat. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like, what's your intelligence?
It's 36.
Okay, yeah. So you would, if he had shot you with that, you would currently have 21 intelligence.
Got it.
The fact that it's split is not too good.
For the average thing, that's probably taking it down in 2 or 3 hits,
Yeah, but I could do that in one.
maybe 4 or 5.
And people have usually more health, like a lot more stats than they do health. Like I've got 9 health, but my my intelligence is like
Yeah.
40.
Well, it depends on the thing, right? Like, I imagine if you're fighting like a big old beast, it might actually be faster to take it down with that gun rather than trying to take its HP.
It's gonna be situational for sure.
Yeah.
It's totally situational, but I think the most useful point of it is bounty hunting. Like, just straight up, like, trying to take, well, not really bounty hunting, but taking a person alive, like, it's really fucking good at that.
And also, whatever progressive penalties someone gets as they slowly go blind and retarded in combat. I mean, even
I don't think it's when it reaches 0.
but when they reach 0, they fall into like drooling catatonia.
Do you know where the in the book where that says? Because it does say that somewhere.
Yeah, I looked it up when I rolled that stat for that gun, specifically to see how it worked.
But do you know where it is? I want to look at that.
I do not recall where it is. I think if you just look up characteristic damage in the index, you'll get where you're going.
Ah, yeah.
Are these the only stats on the weapons? Like the only hidden ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Just their special demonic traits. Okay. So yeah, the guy is still alive, a little confused. And still his turn though. And making a roll on hit. And that was a fucking abysmal roll. Okay. Hodor does not need to worry about dodging. The Tech Priest 93 does not bring him anywhere close to hitting Hodor. So big swing and a miss with a power axe as the slowly retarded Tech Priest completely misses. So, which brings us back to Hodor.
As I'm yelling, as this is happening, I yell over to Thaddeus. Do we want to take this man alive or not? I prefer not.
I think we should, if we can.
Can I make a? I don't know, like, what are the types
Stun?
of attacks I can do? Can I try to disarm him, or
You can grapple him. You can stun him.
I can't stun him. I don't have the shield anymore.
It's just an action, unless I don't think there's anything specific about it.
Yeah, like, was it? Oh, it's not takedown. There's a thing for it.
I don't have the takedown.
I mean, I do have the full chart of regular combat actions in the handout section.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't go into the full rolling details on them that may be necessary for some things, but it's there for a
Yeah,
handful.
if the active character is unarmed or armed with a melee weapon, he can strike to stun instead of attempting to land a killing blow.
If grapple. Okay, maybe I just roll to grapple him.
Quick check. How many limbs does he possess?
The tech priest?
Yes, I know how many limbs Hodor possesses.
Yeah, 3.
Oh, so that would probably be a minus on a grapple test.
Doesn't Hodor get a bonus for being hulking as well?
Yeah, I don't know what hulking gives.
I know it does give a bonus. It's one of the few things people note in the discussions of why the fuck would I ever want to be hulking?
Let me load up the
Because
book.
you're a fan of the Hulk?
It mostly comes up for orc characters because they can explicitly buy hulking as an advance.
Rogue Trader. Why is it not showing up?
Yeah, you can throw down the guy. If you win, then you can throw him on the floor.
Yeah, I just want to grapple him so he can't attack me with his weapon.
I'm not sure if grappling stops him from attacking.
So I can stun.
Actually, yeah, no, I think you can't actually do anything.
Yeah, it
Since you've
lists.
spent your
Yeah, it lists the things he can do.
Yeah, it lists the 3 things you can do when you're grappled.
And what are they?
You can either attempt to break free, slip free, basically strength test or contortionist test, or try to take control of the grapple and become the one grappling.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to grapple. And was that just an opposed strength test plus my bonuses, whatever bonuses I get? I have to look it up.
Yeah, it's opposed strength.
Rogue Trader core rule book. There we go. Control F. Grapple.
Oh, and if it's opposed strength, that means your unnatural strength gets factors in too.
Does it?
It's opposed strength for controlling, but starting a grapple is a weapon skill test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, instead of inflicting damage on an attack, a target character can attempt to do a grapple. Attempt to grapple is a melee attack. You use the charge action or standard attack action. The attacker makes a weapon skill test as normal. The target of the grapple may use a reaction if able to avoid the attack. If the attack is successful, they start grappling. And the attackers control the grapple. You can end control the grapple at any time as a free action.
But the point is weapon skill test to initiate.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what bonus do I get? And what bonus do I get from a natural strength?
At the start, it's just a weapon skill test.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I get a bonus to grapple though.
I think
'cause I'm
that's
hulking.
for. I think that comes in with like maintaining the grapple and shit.
Okay. I'm gonna fate that. Boom. He's grappled.
Ah, okay, yeah. For being hulking, when you're doing the opposed strength test for a grapple, or any opposed strength test for that matter, you get an extra degree of success.
Okay. But so you have to get a degree of success.
Yeah, so it's only extra.
Okay.
And another fucking
Oh.
abysmal failure.
Wait, so you get that for hulking, and what about for a natural strength?
A natural strength, think you get +2? Or, no, sorry, I was thinking in different terms. I think you get +20 or +10. I have to double check.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Either way, it's going to be over 100. So I'm automatically going to get degrees of success.
yeah. mean, he gets plus 10 because he has a Mechindray.
That's not going to help him.
Yeah, I don't think that is enough to help him.
So at this point, can Hodor just like tear his Mechindrites out at the roots?
Maybe. And the unnatural strength also just adds degrees of success. So you add 3 degrees of success because of unnatural strength and hulking on all opposed strength tests.
And I get a plus 20 for the grapple.
You don't get that from hulking or from unnatural. I don't know if you were getting it from somewhere else.
You get the plus 20 to maintain the grapple. No?
To start the
no.
grapple is a weapon skill test,
Yeah,
and then
but-
to maintain the grapple is a strength test.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you get plus 20 on that. And all opposed strength.
There are no pluses. It's just extra degrees of success.
Okay.
I mean, you get a shitload of extra degrees of success, but it's just extra. And yeah, so yeah, he is grappled. And I forgot to look up when the strength tests are made, but is made in advance at least, and it is shit.
So I'll make mine.
You just have to not fail.
Okay. Yeah, if I don't fail, I automatically get 3 degrees of success. So that's like, I don't know, 10 degrees of success.
Yeah, you got 10 degrees of success on the strength test. With that much, I'm basically just going to let you do something horrible to him. Is there anything horrible you want to do to him?
I'm going to start ripping out his Mechindrites.
All right, so the basically you're pinning down 2 of his arms, and he is attempting to stab you in the face with his 3rd arm.
Can I bite it? Just bite it and rip. Oh, I have a helmet on. Never mind. I'm just gonna bite it and just rip it off with my fucking mouth. But yeah, no.
I'm assuming you managed to pin down his other arm for a moment and just rip that thing by the root and tear it right out.
Yep.
And Thaddeus, is there anything you were attempting to do whilst this horror is taking place on the ground?
Yeah, I want to shoot him again. That's 5. Oh yeah, it's the wrong damage. It's the wrong roll. Should be that. So yeah, 37 between the starts.
Okay, he's not exactly out of combat. He's not exactly full drooling retard,
Right.
but he's at 2 intelligence now.
Nice.
I'm not sure what that makes him mentally, but it's definitely not a coherent, sapient individual.
Eggplant.
Well, don't animals in like D&D have like 3 and below intelligence?
But this game is increments of 10.
That's true.
So this would be -1 intelligence for an animal,
This,
I mean,
or like less than 1. Sorry, less than 1 in.
what's a good intelligence for Mechanicus?
I was pulling directly off of the intelligence of a Mechanicus.
What was his starting intelligence?
35.
So, like, a good wit, like, we can assume, like, an average NPC wizard have, like, what, a 17, 16 in intelligence? Something like that? So this is, like, less than 1 intelligence. It's like, this is real.
Well, yeah, the frame of reference here is, your intelligence bonus, your strength bonus, is the tens place of your attribute. He doesn't have a tens place. He doesn't even have a bonus at this point.
I suppose that would equal 0 then, wouldn't it?
At least he'd have a bonus of 0. I don't think his actual attribute is 0, but that just means he's not comatose. That doesn't.
Okay.
I'd say he's not capable of fighting anymore.
Well, I mean, I'll just have to shoot him again, and then he's at 0. Which I assume is... I mean, I can just do that.
Yeah, he is currently being beaten by servitors in IQ tests.
Oh, he's not doing too well.
Gaius's grapple hawk is running circles around him mentally.
Okay, yeah. He's pretty retarded.
So yeah, he's still ambulatory somewhat, but he's got roughly the control of a baby at this point,
I mean, yeah, that's
and
good
also,
enough.
and also somewhat blind and deaf. And yeah, he like doesn't know where he is, and he's losing the capacity to understand where he is.
Does he still have eyes? Oh, sorry, like flaming eyes?
Yes.
Should I put him in comatose? Should I put him in a coma?
Well, I suppose that is between you and Hodor.
I nod. I don't give a fuck. I want this guy to suffer.
That's wrong damage, but any damage would work.
Aha! I found something that's operating at his intelligence level. It's still smarter than him, but not by much.
Why?
A swarm of bugs.
Nice.
So yeah, well, that was 32 to hit and 32 damage.
Yeah, okay, so he is reduced to 0 action and 0 intelligence. It's a blind. He is blind, deaf, and dumb in the literal sense.
He's a pinball wizard as well, yeah. Well, we can take him back to the captain now.
There's just like this low binary drone coming out of him. Just like constant vox static coming over his vocoder. Since he doesn't really have a mouth to drool with. This is like the data equivalent of drool.
Nice.
So what you're saying is his mouth is he's just foaming with memes at the mouth.
He's just super dank right now.
He's just so dank.
Yeah, I'm carrying him, and then I just drop his body at the feet of the captain and say, "Here is murderer." Hopefully, Hodor can dispense justice after we find the information we need.
I have no issue with that.
If you brought his axe, it is still writhing a bit.
Yeah, except I didn't. We kind of. I didn't want to pick it up, so figured out a way to secure it and drag it without picking it up or something.
I'm picturing big, huge Hodor like leaning away from and like poking it with a stick.
Poke it with the demon sword. It couldn't possibly get worse. What's the worst that could happen? You're already holding a demon sword.
It turns into the next thing that's eating crew from the lower decks.
Yeah, it just infests Hodor, and I think Demon Hodor would probably be scarier than just a demon tech priest.
So yeah, let's bring him to some of our Mechanicus fellows who can make sure that he has been thoroughly divested by weapons. Hodor has already made sure he's disarmed.
Disarmed.
Exactly.
And do you wait for him to... I mean, you guys don't have a lot of frame of reference for what the hell just happened to him after Thaddeus shot him.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, they showed up with a comatose tech priest.
I feel like Zennith has the greatest capacity to know what he feels like right now.
He's also deaf and blind.
Okay.
Well, technically not deaf. I mean, he has a -30 to all checks or tests he does.
With 0%.
Yeah. You suffer -30 to all tests except for toughness.
Oh, well, -30 to all tests, presumably that aren't related to perception, because if they were related to perception, you have 0 perception, so you'd automatically fail them.
Yeah.
Unless you somehow got plus 40 or more, so that your total modifier worked out to be like 10 or something.
Yeah. I suppose all you'd need is actually 31, and each other you need to roll a
Yeah.
1. I don't know where you'd get that from, though.
Yeah.
It's about Denham, because Denham was one of the biggest like intelligence on the ship, probably.
Oh no, I just meant because drugs.
Oh, is he loopy? Oh, she can take her drugs.
He's not loopy, just his brain got temporarily eaten by a demon gun.
Yeah. I wouldn't equate that with drugs.
Metaphorically?
He did too much marijuana, kids. That's what marijuana does to the brain.
Meth, not even once.
Anywho, so
Hey, I really want to know how you think he's smoking anything. No mouth.
He vapes.
We get it. That's why he has the flaming eyes. We get it. You vape.
That just raises further questions.
I can just imagine a tech priest downloading like a GIF of a joint, and that totally works.
That's just some really fat code.
Truly dank memes.
Anywho, so yes, the other tech priests do their damnedest to ensure that he is as disarmed as possible.
Do we know people who've been possessed coming back from being possessed? Because I feel like it's not going to happen.
I mean, is he possessed or is he one of ours?
He is one of your tech priests. And yeah,
Is there?
oh, yes.
I was going to ask, is there in fact anything that we are known that we can do about demonic possession?
You don't know. Wait, dinner, roll knowledge warp.
Okay.
Do that thing. Failure. That's what you achieve.
I'll fate that. Why not?
We'll fate your failure. Erase it. This black
Yup.
mark. Okay, you know that exorcisms are a thing? You just know that there's nobody on the ship remotely qualified to
Woohoo!
Oh, you finally get it back.
fate back. Yeah, exorcisms are totally a devotee of the emperor kind of thing. And you guys have been a little more secular, and when not secular, leaning more towards the omniscience side of things. You need an old priest and a young priest here.
Y'all motherfuckers need emperor.
I mean, yeah, the emperor would be great in this situation. If you like wanted to drag the tech priest all the way to the throne room, that'd probably help.
No one's allowed in there.
Every astropath is.
Except for them.
I'm thinking that the best method of possession clearance that we have available is to have Hodor beat him with a lead pipe until he's not possessed one way or the other.
Or we could just like put him in jail and wait until we could get someone to not possess him.
Well,
Where do you get the
might be.
axe?
The demon
Where do you
might
get
be. Oh, I mean, that's just what he has. All tech priests have axes.
Yeah, but the axe is writhing. I'm pretty sure it's a demon weapon.
But a demon's in the axe then? Like, he didn't get the demon axe from somewhere. A demon was in the axe. Just as he got possessed by it.
And you just left it there?
No, we brought it up. I just didn't bring it up while touching it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we, I don't know.
I just used my TK. Come on, guys. Didn't you know?
Like a magnet on the end of a string or something.
Yeah, something
I
like
was
that.
picturing him standing like 15 feet down the hall, trying to throw a lasso over it.
No, it'd be one of those things that you clean pools with, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Just push it along with the demon sword, because whatever it is, it couldn't possibly be worse than the demon sword you're already holding.
Hodor just like gets the arm he ripped off and like tries to push the button to make it close.
Should I just go get that? So I probably have the best chance of holding the damn thing.
Alright, well, yeah, okay. I guess we radio up for Denner to come down and get it. We retcon, and Denner comes and picks it up.
That is reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah, so this guy is. Where are you putting this guy?
I presume that we have a brig.
You do indeed have a brig, so you are putting him in the brig.
Is it sufficient to carry a tech priest too short a mechanoid?
Probably.
I mean,
They removed what they could without killing him.
does he have limbs?
Yes.
Oh,
There's one thing I'm curious
Yeah, I
about.
mean, when you said they disarmed him, I wasn't sure.
You said the victims usually had bite marks on them.
There were
Which-
plenty that had bite marks on them.
Yeah, but this raises the question, doesn't it?
Let's take a look at that axe. Without touching it, of course.
It is definitely an axe.
Is it still writhing?
A bit, yes. Surface rippling, not really fleshy, just kind of like almost liquid metally.
Does it, in fact, have a mouth?
No more of one than it usually does. I can't recall how much of a mouth an omniscient axe has. It does have a little skull there. It's got the top half of the skull. You can see in the picture.
No, it's got the upper like teeth.
So it's got a top set of teeth, kind of. They're more like plastered on there as an emblem than really jutting out. Doesn't have a bottom jaw.
That
This could mean,
certainly
like-
does leave us with a question.
This could mean two things, I guess. There's more than one demon possessed thing on the ship, or there's lots of separate demon possessions going on that like begin and end.
Well, whatever the case is, there's at least 24 hours before this guy was going to be capable of forming speech again.
Can we break this thing now?
Is there any good
information we
reason
need.
not to? I thought you meant the axe.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, mostly the axe. I think it's disgusting.
Well, do you want to smash the axe?
Really, should I make a thing? I assume it's a demon weapon at this point, but should I make like a sign of scenes to be sure of that?
You can go ahead and do that. The thing that you just said, with words that came out of your mouth, that you put into my ear with your mouth. Okay, there's definitely something radiating off this thing. But it's hard to tell if it's inherent or if it's just residual.
Would another degree of success help with that?
No. This thing's just kind of vague here.
Okay.
I mean, if you haven't had to make any tests so far, definitely does support that. It might be residual.
Well, either way. It's got demon gross stuck on it. That sort of thing that usually, if it's residual, does it go away?
Maybe.
Does anyone know if tech priests like carrying around weapons once they've been tainted by demons?
Hell no.
So it should be destroyed.
Hooray! So the axe is killed then. You kill the axe.
Kill it with fire and or anything else that helps kill it.
It's a power axe. Fire will not kill that thing. It'd have to be a lot of fire, like Geiss's gunfire.
I'm sure that could be arranged.
Firing fire out of Geiss's
With
gunfire.
pleasure.
Oh, right. You don't find any particular difficulty destroying the thing. No more than you would a conventional power axe. Which, I mean, means there is a little bit of difficulty. It's, made for heat of combat, whacking things, cutting things in half, lightsaber axe, but other than that, you bisect the shit out of that thing. And then, melt pieces and shatter and explode. The rippling axe is no more, and it has ceased rippling and writhing, and no longer radiating a sort of heat-like haze.
Much better.
Power cell flickers and dies, no longer sparking with its power field energy. The axe is no more, merely a collection of disjointed bits and parts, which the tech
It
priests are.
is an X-axe!
The tech priests are already beginning to gather up the shattered components for incineration. They don't trust any of the metals or circuitry left in that thing.
Yes, they probably should.
Meanwhile, you have a guy who is gradually, hour by hour, regaining his brain and eyes and ears and nose and skin. I mean, his skin isn't gone, but he can't feel anything with it. Did you guys have any particular plans of what was taking place aboard the ship during the following day? As you presumably, theoretically, await this creature's awakening.
Well, I am concerned about the point Thaddeus made. So I'm going to continue having people keep an eye out and be cautious because there might be another one.
A valid point. So the astropads do their best to continue keeping an eye out, as do the various other people assisting across the ship.
And of course, we make another day's silent travel across the void.
Oh, I thought we were reinforcing stuff right now.
Speaking of which, tech use minus 20. Plus whatever else you manage to get, but tech use minus 20. Presumably.
Don't think I have anything that adds to my tech use.
Tech use.
Oh, I'm gonna fade that. Aw.
I was about to say your multi-tool, but your multi-tool can't recover that. Either of those.
Not a 99.
Oh, that's right. And yeah, plus 15 would not have covered either of those.
Okay. So yeah, on a 99. Well, on the plus side, you don't have to go into the radiation field because your sensors are already knocked out.
Hey,
How unfortunate.
good job, Captain.
This is the tale.
It was clearly demonic powers interfering with me.
And on Romeo's part,
Hi.
what is Romeo doing in the meantime whilst this thing is jailed up?
Sleeping, playing cards, and leaving notes for Harlequin Eldar when he sleeps.
Who does he play cards with?
I don't know, people.
Has Hodor been
Solitaire.
successful in procreating yet, Eric?
He just plays solitaire.
This whole situation has put a bit of a damper on the mood down there.
That doesn't
More
matter
ways
for
than
Hodor.
one. Wah, wah.
Okay, that's a little creepy.
Yeah, we all know
Hodor has a
it's
goal.
creepy.
He wants to reproduce.
I will look up the seduction rules that I have been avoiding reading later.
Well, it's kind of at the point where like Hodor just rules over the mutants, so I don't even want to
You're
have to RP
using
it. I just want to.
intimidation
No,
for this
we're not-
stuff.
I just
I'm
want
kicking
to.
your
I
ass.
don't want to have to. I don't want to have to RP any section stuff. I just want to say it happens like between
Yeah, we're not
journeys.
we're not going to. It's just going to be a check to see if Hodor continues to strike out or not.
Well, I mean, he just wouldn't strike out because he's the king of the mutants.
It's good to be the king.
Yeah, it's good to be the king.
I get you. Okay.
But no, because he needs to further his species. If anything, he'd be recreating with a different person every day or procreating. Kind of like a Genghis Khan type thing, you know?
Yeah, no, completely makes sense for his position.
I'm just gonna be Kiff in this moment.
Yeah, so those horrors are taking place.
But yeah, I don't know if Romeo needs to actually do anything other than wait for the ship to be ready to pilot through gravity fields. Because it's not like he can practice, because they change, right?
Yeah.
So other than try to get the attention of the Harlequin Eldar, which he thinks are cool folks, and apparently show up when you're sleeping, he's just hanging out. He's being Romeo.
Oh, right. So Romeo's just playing cards during the day then.
Yep.
What
Unless something needs to get done. Like,
Right.
I don't know. As far as I know, Romeo doesn't really need to see into anything.
Well, I mean, it's a giant ship of tens of thousands of people. There's always shit that needs done and overseen. He has day job activities.
Yeah, other than like your standard maintenance stuff. He's just doing stuff.
Probably a lot of coordination stuff that he has to oversee. Interdepartment communication and shit. Training.
Oh yeah, and actively trying to find new people to train to get the mutants out of the areas that they're currently in.
Oh yeah.
Because he does not trust Hodor now.
What's K2 then?
What's that? You getting damage set up for your thing?
I'm seeing how it works. Like how
Ah.
tearing would work.
Oh, okay.
So you do K2, so then it drops the lowest die. I think that's how it works.
D1, what else would do that?
D1, oh, D1. What? So what? 3D10 D1.
Well, you would want to roll.
Right, okay.
Wait, well, for tearing lets you choose on each dice. It's not just the lowest of the ones you picked, right?
No, it says you roll one extra die and you discard the lowest.
Oh, my bad. I thought it worked different.
I thought it did too. Hold on. Is that from the Rogue Trader book?
Yeah.
It is? Okay. Because I know some of the books, the rules are slightly different for different games.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yep, well, one extra die and discard the lowest. But anywho, yes. So, Romeo, whilst you are out and about searching for people who would be suitable to retrain for positions to replace the mutants who were brought up from the lower decks during crew losses, you're signing off on a data slate, bidding someone farewell, just making your way off to head down to the hangar to see about doing some training sessions with your nice wings of pilots. And so, Lord Grey. It was Grey, right? Romeo Grey?
Yep, that's Gray.
So, Lord Grey, betrayed by his former comrade, no longer trusted him. The seeds of doubt began to spread.
I found in my personal experiences it's good to have a backup for every unknown situation.
And seated on a pile of crates, just kind of staring up at the ceiling, laying back, hands folded behind her head, is Celeste.
Oh, I tell Slur that the reputation precedes them.
Ah, of course it does. We did have quite the digression of our presence, although hardly a disruptive one. We're pleased.
Sorry, I missed all of that. I would. Sorry.
They had apparently observed your discussion of them, although they were pleased that it wasn't too distracting.
Oh yeah, we have to put on a good show. Now that we know there's an audience about.
Ah, we are no audience, Lord Grey. We are merely the writers. The audience comes later.
Pardon me, I haven't had much time in the theater myself.
Ah, the theatre is everywhere you can perform, Lord Grey.
Well, how about a few performances right now? Just for leisure. I'd love to hear some of the stories you have.
The stories of the Eldar told properly. Yes, Lord Grey?
I'd be quite interested, yes.
In that case, you must speak to Our Lady Gearite Seraphine.
Oh, log codes, right?
Oh, hardly. We would never hold entertainment or good performance hostage.
Ah, okay. Audiences.
Certainly an audience, but rather the proper tales of the Eldar must be told on the stage, with dance and theatre, which means we will require space.
It could improve morale on the ship.
Oh no, it totally won't. It's aliens.
It's the opposite, yeah.
It's us revealing to
There's
everybody that there's aliens
Eldar,
on the
you know,
ship.
the ones that stabbed the captain and tried to kill us on our ship.
Yeah, well, it
And
depends on how good the show is, right?
and they are aliens among a bunch of racists. Like, let's not. That's what the Imperium mostly is full of.
Yeah, on either side of Romeo, an individual leans in, each one holding a small plate that they put in front of him. Or bring it in
xenophobic,
front of
yes.
him.
Yeah, xenophobic. Sorry, you're right. That's the correct term.
Tea, muffin.
Amazing. I have both. And I thank them. I thank them very much. So, it's been a long day of menial chores.
Yes, it has. Terribly dreadful. We'll leave this part out of the story.
Unless you want the audience to fall asleep.
And a pleasure to meet you. I am Baldine. I am our Lord, our one and sovereign King, Hodor's biographer.
Now that is a story I'm also interested in.
Oh, the story goes back quite some ways.
Probably some ways before our paths even crossed.
Oh, as you would not believe.
Oh my god, they've been following me for so long. What?
The story of man.
They've probably been following everyone.
The story of a man born into slavery and adversity, forced to fight for his slave masters, only to be forced into service by his liberators.
You say forced into service, well, I'm sure he's banging in half of the underdeck right now.
Ah, but this here. The Eldar sort of just takes some dramatic steps away, twirling about on the spot, casting his arms out. This is the story of our Lord's liberation. Twice shackled, but now free.
Oh?
Forgive me, it is a tale I've become quite close to in the intervening years.
No, I'm merely in awe of your passion. Please, feel free to continue.
I admit there are several difficulties we have had in obtaining Lady Brabazon's story. The security of the Navigator houses is somewhat better than yours.
I wasn't even aware I had security.
Well, you have individuals on this ship who are supposed to shoot individuals like us, yes?
I mean, usually I trust my crew to have my back, but I lost half of them.
Oh, yes, yes. What was it? Yes, I believe Tal Marine is finishing the dirge of the Spirit of Wind. A fitting send-off.
Yeah, she was a good ship.
We'll leave a copy in your quarters.
Oh, I appreciate it muchly.
Fortunately, it appears we will not have to translate it.
Well, you might have to. I wouldn't say that my Eldar is spectacular. I'd worry that I'd lose the complexities of your work. Not that I don't mind the practice.
Yes, we will provide a version that would be more amenable to less trained eyes then.
It's good for a man to know his limitations.
Wisdom, too, curious. We will pass that along. And he just sort of takes a few steps aside, and once he's out of your periphery, he's just gone.
Sounds like Eldar. Well, Roman's going to turn to Solaire with his tea and muffin and say that he will talk to the good captain about putting on a play. I think I've got an idea of how we could make this amenable to the masses.
Whatever you must. Your crew is certainly, perhaps open-minded is not the correct word, but they are not as others of your Imperium, which is fascinating. Although a fair amount of that is owed to your captain's influence, I would say. The misfits and cast-offs she insists on gathering.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty apt description of half of this ship.
There are certainly those vessels that are more prone to giving a home to the otherwise homeless and strange. Unfortunately, a fair portion of our troop had to part ways with us temporarily.
Oh, you're expecting them back, though?
Well, yes, eventually, we would presume. It would somewhat depend entirely on how successful our good Lord Schwarzwald's expedition is.
What a crazy bastard he is.
Ah, but an incredible man.
Oh, I adore him. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if I should just shoot him dead, but I do adore him.
Ah, he's a man of very few morals, and yet there, beneath the surface, there is this undeniable core. He's given homes to so many people who would simply be shot or discarded.
And also shot so many people that had homes.
He has done that as well. He is a complex, interesting man.
I really hope that he's successful in his venture, but honestly, I don't think we could have gotten that thing. I mean, I'm sure we'll know after the tale comes back.
His tale is to be a very long and complex one, we can tell. Though I do believe you will be crossing paths again, in a way, in time. But that is a tale for another time. Unfortunately, you may well be side players in it, but I believe you shall cross paths.
We could only be so lucky. Good or bad luck. That's up for debate.
Yes. Although, while we are to do very little, if anything, to affect how the tales play out, I can say this of the tale that you are spinning now. Solaire sort of gets down off the box, leans in closer. It's not over yet. This tale has a tragic ending, I am afraid, Lord Grey.
Does it?
But soon.
Well,
And you do notice that her jester's mask has taken on a concerned expression. Not like organically, it just has one.
got it.
She sort of casts her hand over it, and as her hand passes over, it's back to its jesterly expression.
Oh, dude, she's hexadecimal.
Yes.
Totally wasn't my intent, but totally what I started thinking of as soon as I started thinking of her.
Yeah.
What's hexadecimal?
From-
Reboot.
Yeah.
One of the viruses from Reboot.
Okay.
I know you watched it because they played it on YTV all the time, man. It was a Canadian show. They like,
Yeah,
they,
man.
Yeah, aren't you guys Canadian?
Yeah, I watched it. I just forget all the characters.
Her-
and
her-
none of the
her-
plot line stuck with me.
Her face was a jester's mask, and she changed expressions by sweeping her hand over her face.
And she
Yeah,
was
no,
cray.
I did watch it. I just didn't watch it religiously, or when it was on, I kind of watched it. And for some reason, the same episode kept playing all the time. Whenever I was watching it, it was always just one episode.
Was it the D&D episode? Because that was like the best episode.
I'm not sure, but it was the same episode every single time. I turned it on.
You would know if it was the D&D episode because Mike is a paladin.
Probably wasn't.
But regardless, Solaire begins to make her way off then.
Did you watch Reboot?
I used to.
Roma was going to thank her for her audience.
And for what it's worth, you do not need to leave notes. Just talk about us. We'll hear. Yeah,
But the notes are so much fun. It's like we're passing little I was gonna say like notes in class, but I don't think that's a thing that either of them have experienced.
Little stories.
You are right. I've lived 1,000 of your lifetimes or more, but it is the simple things that keep one sane.
Let's not let the romance die.
Someone else is looking for something.
Romance in the artistic sense, not.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
That was her assumption too.
No, Romeo wants to get some Eldar.
Romeo's Chemglad.
Hey,
Oh,
they're
okay.
actors and he's named after a play character. A romance play character.
Actually opted for that to be his name, Rios.
Yeah, he did
Oh.
voluntarily choose that.
Yeah, it's a cool name. That's why he chose it. It's cool.
Yeah, so as soon as she's out of sight, Solaire is simply gone.
I put the saucer and teacup on the nearest box when I'm done. I'm sure they'll pick it up sometime.
Telling you, man, brownies.
I don't think they would make
They're
brownies.
suddenly
They're not
Santa
like.
Claus.
No, no, no. I'm not saying have them make brownies. I'm saying they're like brownies.
Brownies the creatures, not the tasty treat.
Yes.
I'm not familiar with the brand. I've read about them in like various monster manuals, but I've never actually like played anything with them.
What's a brownie?
It's like a kind of fey.
Is it? What's it look like? A delicious baked good?
I mean, I suppose you could bake one. I don't know how it would taste.
I can't imagine that it would go well for you. Thomas Kitely describes the brownie as a personage of small stature, wrinkled visage, covered with short curly brown hair, and wearing a brown mantle and hood. Brownies are said to inhabit houses and aid in tasks around the house. However, they do not like to be seen and will only work at night, traditionally in exchange for small gifts of food.
They're like no, they'd be like anti-brownies because they gave me food. They gave me a muffin and tea.
That's true. They also stab people, which is, as far as I know, a traditional brownie attribute.
Well, they're kind of like guardian angels of our
Okay, wait.
ship.
No,
They're
that's like
like-
actually that's like actually racist now because you're attributing the actions of one of a giant member of races. Like it's not like they all share necessarily all the same traits.
Are you
Welcome to
telling me
Warhammer.
that? Sorry, are you telling me that any of them would not be happy to stab people?
Oh, I'm sure they totally love stabbing people, but like not interesting people like us, like common people, like pleb people.
That
Like
depends.
invaders?
Well, that depends entirely on would killing you create a beautiful, tragic story or a glorious end to a warrior's life?
That's yeah, all right. I can get with that. They are crazy. I'm not saying they're not crazy people. They are crazy people.
Incidentally, Eric, I have a question.
I don't think you do.
The suits that they use are holo generators?
Probably.
Some form of active camouflage in any case. So, what would happen if we had a bunch of flour in the air around them?
Possible that that would aid in their detection.
I imagine it would leave like a hole, right?
That is
you
the
would
usual
think.
thing.
Unless it has a very powerful computer running it.
Well, it's Eldar, so that's a distinct possibility. Oh, good lord, it's 8:30. How'd that happen?
It's
You
11:30
know,
here.
one thing led to another.
Awful.
I have to go eat food and then go to sleep so that I can wake up and do schoolwork and then go to a place.
It's a pretty good idea.
Do the thing.
Yes.
How much XP do we get for this session?
You will get XP once the murder thing is resolved.
Okay, so it's not resolved yet.
Not yet.
Nah, they said there's gonna be a tragic ending.
That is what the Eldar said.
Not to the
Yeah.
murder thing, but to like our entire adventure. No.
No, the tale we are currently spinning is the murder thing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was
Tragic
my
Tragic
interpretation.
Emperor who?
Pardon?
I mean, that's the question.
What's that?
Oh, the Eldar are saying that the Harlequin Eldar are saying that the murder thing is still going to have a tragic ending. Like, we haven't necessarily sewn it up.
Right, yeah.
So either there's another one, or this one guy will most probably have to be murdered.
Yeah, that's the thing. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to bed too then, because if we're stopping.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That was
All right.
fun.
We should totally put on this
Okay.
play and just lie that they're not and say that they're not Eldar.
I mean,
Then
if they're
they're
wearing
playing.
masks.
Well, they're gonna be playing a dude disguised as another dude. That's like double acting. It's like you put acting inside your acting.
Are they gonna be okay with
Oh my god, does that mean in the future they're going to end up putting on like an Avatar style play?
Oh,
Where they're
God.
us.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's already happening. I mean, if we actually wanted to lie to the crew and say that they were humans and that we were commissioning a story about us and our exploits, it totally is passable.
So right now, if they're doing any plays, they're doing
Eldar
proper.
history.
Yeah, they're doing Harlequin plays about Eldar history.
Yeah, that's what they said they were
So-
doing.
Childers by China, these robots.
They will not be doing the play though.
Yeah,
Right,
VK
they'll just
play,
putting
which is
on
basically Pippin, where somebody ends up on fire at the end.
Well, we could have
Oh.
a stage set up and just have like the upper echelons of and not have the regular crew find out. Like just have like.
I'm dumb. It's going to be played by Eldar history because that is the thing that they're.
Well, what I'm saying is like the entire crew doesn't need to watch it. Like it could just be like the higher ups, like us, like the immediate circle.
That's not very friendly to them though. Come on, we're trying to be friends.
I
To be
guess.
fair, how many of the crew actually know Eldar history and would recognize the what's being performed as Eldar specifically?
Well, when they start saying the word Eldar, it'll probably be a tip-off.
I wasn't sure whether it was like a silent type thing or not.
No,
Like,
it
it's
is
just
a
like
full-on
interpretive
theater
dance.
production. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of interpretive dance mixed in, but with dialogue too.
Yeah, that's the thing is like Romeo's personally into it because he likes Xenos stuff in general. That's why he's a cold trader, right? But if it would seriously hurt the morale of the crew, I don't know if he'd do it. Like it's a personal hobby thing, and it doesn't mean he needs to inflict it on everybody else around him. Okay, but sleep for real this time.
Yep.
Bye,
Sweet.
guys.
See you later.
Yeah, everybody.
All right, later, guys.
yeah.
Right.